Yo, what up? Have you ever had to choose between playing a spec for the good of the guild and what you really want to play? Um, no, not really. My all the guilds that I've kind of been in realize that I fucking suck at everything else, and so they don't really ask me to play anything else other than Moonkin. The boom can go. Yeah, I will say. So there's only one time that I've actually done like actual serious prog as anything other than Moonkin, and it was on Dementius when I played Ellie Shaman, right? Um, I was completely fine with playing Ellie Shaman Dementius though. Moonkin was fucking terrible that tier. Good morning. I I don't really get asked. And if I do get asked, I'm like, I don't really want to play anything else. I just kind of tell them I'm like not that interested. Like they're like, I'll play something else if Moonkin is fucking horrible. Like I'm not sitting here trying to play some terrible spec. But yeah, I don't know. Seems good. I remember in Aberrus, there was a fucking pull on Sarkareth where I got beat by Steve. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. He was on prop out in that tier. Look, sometimes it happens. I did okay that tier. I mean, I was look, Moonkin was just bad. I was cooking, but Moonkin was fucking horrible. Dragonflight, Aberrus. Definitely not the right one. What? That had a rank 1 this season. Oh, we private logged. Error. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Parsley like Bourgeron? I'm pretty sure I had like a rank 1 this tier. But it's okay. Sometimes it'd be like that. I'm pretty sure I had a rank 1 on Rashok. But it doesn't really matter. My parses, maybe I wasn't cooking. I got an 8. Like, this doesn't look right. Maybe it was. I don't know. Maybe I was fucking worst. We killed it week 1? Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I'm pretty sure I had like a rank 1 on Rashok. And I don't know. Something's wrong with these parses. I can't see them. No log access. Yo, what up? Yeah, I'm missing log access, but don't matter. Yeah, I was sat for a lot of Vault of the Incarnates, and then we played double Moonkin on Razageth and Broodkeeper, and that was chill. I was sitting there watching my fucking Disc Priest try to grip my Holy Paladin for like 250 pulls, only to fail. And then we eventually killed it. And then I was our designated Mark of the Wild buff in Aberrus, and it was like fine. I played fine that tier. How much of a shift in meta are we expecting from the most recent nerfs? That's a good question. I don't know. I need to look at these some more. I just glanced at them whenever they got posted yesterday. I didn't really look through them too much. Warlock is in a bad spot? Isn't Destro good? those Orthos have had some numbers for these. Had some numbers for these yesterday.
Arcane is still good, but you don't swear. Oh,
You're the Smere, yeah. Yeah, fuck it, just play Enhanced, bro. Whatever you want. Unless you're raiding like a really competitive guild, that shit's kind of like whatever. Doug. All estimates, napkin math class discords. Probably what I was gonna do. I saw these were big numbers for Devour. Like really big numbers for Devourers. I saw this. It was like 2% on AoE, like 7 or 8% on single target or something. Like ridiculously large numbers. But this is what they posted in the class Discord. So Annihilator's -9. And Annihilator was not being played that much. So this is so basically it's like a 4.2% single target, 2% AoE. I mean that's not very good for them. -9. I mean they weren't playing that one, but yeah. And they didn't fix the haste thing? Yeah, I don't really know what the fuck's up with that. Apparently they're double dipping with haste or something. I don't know if they fixed the subtlety rogue bug either. What does Orthos have? Neutral for Frost. Yeah, so what happens when that gets fixed? Yeah, that's what we call the double nerf. That's what we call the Demonology Warlock. This got nerfed. 3% damage. That's not bad. I mean, that's not bad. 3% damage on the spec is like fine. Opinion on Yoda's Boomy damage video? I mean, I think that Moonkin's Prio is a little bit better than he was looking at, but maybe I'm coping. Arcane in Shambles? How bad is this Arcane nerf? This is actually 4%. Forum was like fucking rage tweeting, but like you could put numbers to this. 4% single target, 3% AoE, 4%, 2%. Okay. Oh no, he wasn't even rage tweeting this time. I just read this as sarcastic, but maybe he wasn't being. The tomato tier list. He's got all of the rogues bumped up. But what did they do? Assass just got a buff. Oh. I mean. Sub is neutral. This shit with sub is weird because I think a lot of their... I don't say a lot, but I think a decent amount of damage is like contingent on a bug. Assassination getting buffed is unbelievable. There was like a... Hit up Shindig? SS time. You know what we need? We need the Shindig Ellesmere connection. 5 to 7% from sub bug? Yeah, well, I don't know what the fuck they're... Yeah, they need a... Like, what do they... I mean, this is like a recipe for them to just get nerfed out of the fucking blue. Oh, they just click on the red buttons. There was a log that I saw. This one that had assassination doing insane damage. Look at this first pull. Look at the first pull of this dungeon. And then you look at the Twin Fang Harrower damage. This first pull. Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe he's hitting the Ritual Chieftain. Oh yeah, this is what he's hitting. So, I don't know. I am casting the race, yeah. The Smere. The Shishmere. Assassination was already kind of good. It was just incredibly underplayed, right? I mean, like, Shun is playing. Yeah. Okay, so assassination I think is good. The Guardian Druid? Yeah, we're also gonna buff EK again. Emo, enhancement increase. Devour, I don't know. I definitely do not feel great about this Devour nerf. Devour and Age. Yeah, he's just gonna be a melee DPS season, like Loki. Walked in Devour, should I get my rogue ready? I have no idea. Sub is, I mean, Assassination's good, Outlaw is good, Subtlety is overperforming because of a bug, but like the other two specs are also good, so it's like really fucking weird. Arms, Sin, Windwalker, Resto Shaman, Blood DK? I mean, imagine. Kind of the question with that comp is where you're supposed to get Lust from, right? Maybe you would just play Resto Shaman just for the fucking vibes.
The Twilight's blade are sabotaging our lumberyard again. Save what light wood you can find.
When Fury be
and
goated,
hit them
yeah.
back hard.
Kind of an interesting thought. What does Orthus end up doing with this tuning? A plus casters, A plus melee, A minus damage, maybe not great. Barrel.
The vile branch have awoken a terrible creature. Cragpine the Grand has risen.
The children of fire seek fresh food. Swim, dive, hunt. Find us many fish to feast.
Where's your Mark of the Wild? I think you don't play with Mark of the Wild this season. Kind of the speculation. A bit more. Is it really? God. I mean, the gut reaction is that you drop out of mage. God, would you ever play through full fizz comp? Is it actually fucking rogue? Barrel's fine? Yeah, but Why the fuck would you play a Feral Druid when you can play something that does, like, actual damage? Same thing with Minkin. Yeah, you guys probably playing the same comp anyways. I don't think the latest notes. Yeah, sure. Here you go. How the fuck did you... Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if a Moonkin does more damage than a fucking Feral Druid. With... I don't know. Like, it's like, would I rather play with a Windwalker Monk or would I rather play with a Rogue? Or like, would I rather play with a Windwalker Monk or would I rather play with a Feral Druid? I'm pretty sure I'd rather play with a Windwalker Monk, right? Feral can live easier? Who cares? Fucking... Heal me. Wildhead ranking Shadow Priest at C tier for Mythic Plus? Me. I think Shadow Priest fucking sucks. Effect does no damage. That spec is terrible. I stand by that. I stand by that shit. Shadow Priest is fucking bad. The dead ashes don't do damage. I don't know what the fuck their deal is. They were like pretty good, like low key good, and then they got a nerf, and then they were like low key not that good. Uniform normal gear? I don't know. Elves probably.
The crimson orbs will restore.
Their purpose of doing this on 11? Did you get more XP from the Mistlike Curiosities when you were doing this on 11?
I've drawn a healing circle.
Well, these guys are... Can I go crazy around? Is PTR even up? They're the same. Oh. Well, probably no. Oh, PTR is up. What the fuck? I thought PTR was down. Interesting. Why is stealthing around make it faster? They're on the PTR. Rattles. Going crazy. Why are the Chinese better than the majority? They try harder in early season Mythic Plus. I have no idea what you're even talking about. Poison spell? Yeah, I mean, poison spell's nice this season. I don't think it's required. Did you get the raid? I think if you're a 1% player, you definitely don't have the raid. Is the EX boss updated? No, not yet. Any other Mythic Plus add-on recommendations? I'd probably just use Big Wigs and Little Wigs in the meantime. Ancients watching Sea Mage? Oh, I see. Is Annie also watching Sea Mage? Is that what's going on here? Yes. What? Everybody's just watching Sea Mage. This guy's the guy that's playing Warlock. You get the 4 either way? Yeah. Ian. What's shit called? No worries. Journals. But yeah, everybody's gonna be able to get to 4 next week because it was a bug. Bug. Itch it hard? Yeah. They did hit DK just as hard. They gave DK a 3% damage loss too.
I fucking
Yo.
hate Tails being happy. What a dickhead.
Thank you for the sub.
Fuck you, Tails.
Where's Tians? And for the title for the Delve boss? Nah, probably not. A little bit busy. I already remember dead? Oh, I don't think so. I think it's probably fine. I didn't think Devour was actually that insane. In Mythic Plus, it was obviously, like, very good. He was streamed 15 hours ago. I saw this. What was he doing? Three hours straight again? Nah. What'd you get your layer to yesterday? I don't know. 72. What are they playing? They're playing Warrior, Mage, Shaman still. Holy Paladin. I mean, he really hasn't played much of anything else. Yo, good morning.
That looks like a treasure out in the distance. Don't miss this opportunity.
Oh, yeah. Void's card? Yeah. When you fly out Monday. Curious, so says this nerf didn't happen, but how much better does the melee Devour build for you to not have to play the Season 1 Devour build? I don't know, probably like 1%. And people would play... I feel like people are going to play like the best thing regardless. Totemic? For... Resto Shaman? I have no fucking idea. I think yeah. They got the biggest nerf. Like them and Arcane got the biggest nerfs. Tier 6 Dells? Yeah. Well, it's not for possible tier, but it's for highest level gear. You said I don't want melee for 0 to hero yet? No, not yet. Boomkin most OP spec of all PTR somehow didn't get nerfed again. Definitely not the most OP spec of all PTR. Sure, that was not true. Guy forgets arms. Guy's a warrior main. It's a convenient gaslight by him. They're going the wrong way. Moonkin got nerfed twice. Yeah, Moonkin got nerfed twice. Ret not getting anything blows my mind. I'm not that shocked. You have any tier list? That's a good question. I think I'm about to do it right now. I don't think I have really much to change. It's like, what would I change? So it's like Assassination Rogue probably goes up, right? It's like... Even though Devour got nerfed, I can imagine Devour actually goes down. So this is quite... This is where I was at, right? I think Shadow Priest is maybe actually supposed to be in B. I mean, I think the spec sucks, and all the logs on the beta made it look fucking terrible. This guy's doing like fine damage. Probably goes down to A. The problem is like I don't really know. This is the problem. This is the problem with doing a tier list based on like speculation, based on like nerfs that are happening on paper as opposed to being able to see them, right? If you give me like a week during the season, I'll be able to tell, but like sleep on Shadow, it's good. Dude. This shit is... This shit looked awful. Well, I'm reading the spec if it's only 10% ahead. Dude, I feel like, yeah, that's the truth of Shadow Priest. I feel like every time I fucking see it, it's like always doing the most damage on the goddamn planet. But yeah, I mean, this guy's doing fine damage. I mean, this shit's probably supposed to come up a little bit. I already changed all that. There's also something about Rogue with AoE blind, because AoE blind was like gone for like 3 fucking weeks. A good priest is a god. I mean, World of Warcraft specs are not very balanced, right? Like, if you have somebody who's 100% parsing and somebody who's 95% parsing, you are going to... The person who's 100% parsing is going to do, like, 15% more damage to them or something fucking insane. Like, it's actually not... The game is not that balanced. And they're still playing Warrior Mage. I don't know. Maybe... I mean, Mage was, like, by far the best. I don't think I moved Mage. I think I'm just gonna leave it, even though they got 4% nerf. I think I'm just gonna move Shadow Priest up. This shit comes up. I really don't think the spec is that great, but... Yeah, he's doing damage. Is probably fun. Yes, I'm Metro. And then I think it's what? Assassination Rogue? That's the other spec I think I'm pretty good with moving. Every spec in B tier, move on. Nah. Nah. Bombs though. Four classes, should I get right? Just... The thing that you're gonna want to do if you want to guarantee that you're gonna be fought, just like wait till later. Moon get nerfed. They buffed this. Whatever. Got nerfed. I mean, this is... I think that this is probably about the same, even though it's like... I think that this was good, now it's like less good, but I don't know if it moves out of this tier. I think it's just Assassination Rogue I'm gonna move. Am I still playing Arcane Mage? Yeah. I wrote the tier list? Yeah, I wrote this tier list specifically. And then I'll update it in 2 weeks or whatever, whenever we get more class tuning, right? Put Fury. I put Fury at the bottom because you have to play fucking... If you play Fury instead of Arms, then you're trolling. Kind of like this thing where the opportunity cost playing Fury Warrior is not playing Arms Warrior. IB? Dude, literally nobody's playing this shit. Are you sure? Every log I looked at, they literally looked fucking terrible, and genuinely nobody was playing it. Overshadowed? I mean, yeah, is that not... I feel like that's like actually a relevant... I think that's like a relevant metric. I mean, arguably you could fucking be like, yeah, Fire Mage is supposed to go in C tier too because of the exact same reason. Gosh. Sphere. My expectations at Ella... What the fuck? This guy is killing me. Leave me alone. Why'd that guy kill me?
You're here. Good.
Furious performing just where they want it? Yep. Right, everything's balanced. Ends up outshining Assassination. Is that still true? I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true anymore. I think they're probably about the same. I'm just gonna have an update on this. They move. Shadow. I think there's a lot of shit that's like genuinely. I think everything's like fine to play. The problem is like if you're not literally one of the top 3 specializations, your spec is fucking worthless. That's just kind of the way that. That's kind of the meta, right? I mean, the ultimate issue is that if you're not, this is genuinely with some Mythic Plus or shit. If you're not first, you're last, and so like, if you're literally not the best spec in the game, you're fucking wasting your time, kinda, for a lot of people. Enhance and A. I think Enhance has always been fine. It's like fun. I think that there's more. I think there's actually more slots to play Enhance. It's kind of like the same thing as like there's. I think there's more opportunity to play Enhance in like Feral, for example, because with the stuff that's like projected to be meta, right? So say look, you're looking at like Arms, you're looking at Windwalker, you're looking at Rogue, a lot of Rogue specs. There's like pretty seamless transition for things like pretty seamless transition for things like Enhancement Shaman, things like Feral Druid, right? Which is not always true. Historically, that's not always true, right? You know, if the best spec in the game is a mage, it makes it harder. But so the tier list is based on ease to push? No, the tier list is based on like what I think is the absolute best in the game. All classes can push to 1%, even 0.1%? Yeah, of course. But it's about like what's the best. If piloted by the best players in the world, what is going to perform the best? Why are streamers just doing this Dell thing? Well, because I wanted to stream this week. And as it turns out, there's actually not much to stream. It's all subjective to change. Yeah, I mean, it's the thing is, like, especially with PTR data, it's really inconsistent. Like, if you give me a month, I'll be able to tell you, right? Like, what's what with the meta. And pretty much every single specialization with, like, pretty decent confidence. The issue with PTR is, like... PTR is not always like that. But people, I mean, it's like predictions, right? Like a preseason tier list is just predictions based off of like what I think. Yeah, but just kind of like for fun, right? It's kind of like you ever like sit and voice with your friends and like there's somebody who's come back to the game, they're like, what should I play? I'm thinking about picking between these 3 specializations. What do you think? You kind of give them advice, kind of like that, right? That's kind of how I view tier lists, especially like preseason tier lists. Like I put a lot of work into it because like I've like I've done a lot of PTR Mythic Plus, right? I've done over 100 PTR dungeons. I've probably done over 100, but somewhere less than 200. So I'm somewhere in between the two of those in terms of like how many PTR dungeons I've done. So I've done a fucking ton, right? I've seen a lot of specializations. I know the dungeons like fairly thoroughly.
The Crimson Orbs will restore.
You get bullied in moving Priest to B tier? No, I didn't get bullied. I didn't get bullied in doing anything. I moved Priest to B tier because there was a Chinese priest that was doing damage. Whenever I was looking at all the logs from Shadow Priest, that spec looked fucking horrible, though. The dungeon you think is the most difficult? I think the dungeons that do the most damage are Blinding Veil and Temple of Seth. Those are the dungeons that do the most damage. Probably the most difficult.
Stay here and recover.
What are you doing this? Oh, I don't know. I don't know anything about Raid. Raid, I'm like, dude. Genuinely, I have a better shot at like winning the fucking lottery than predicting like Raid meta. This shit is literally impossible to predict nowadays. Are you doing this to Elf? Farming mislaid curiosities. Raid is wait until next Friday. Like, high key, Raid is literally, you have to look at Raid data to be able to figure it out. Like, so Raid used to be predictable, right? Raid used to be predictable because they wouldn't do class tuning after Raid testing. And so that set up this thing where everybody kind of knew from Raid testing what was very likely to be good. Which is nice because it makes it really easy to predict from like a tier, like making a fucking tier list. But from there was a lot of balancing problems with that. Obviously, they weren't really doing enough tuning passes. But now it's like it's nearly impossible to have like a clear grasp of what's going to be good in the raid unless you do like very extensive not only like dummy testing, but it's like dummy testing, it's sims, it's spec specific theory crafting, it's, you know, you're spending hours inside of like the normal raid weekend testing, doing damage tests. Like that shit is almost impossible to be able to like know, because even with people who test on the PTR, the people who test on the PTR, while they are good, sorry, I got stunned. While the people who are testing on the PTR are good, at the end of the day, there's insane skill variance between good players and the best players. And I think that that's something that's not really talked about all too often. It's just like how wide the skill variance can really be. And so if you only have okay people doing tests on the PTR, you can kind of like misread info in regards to like class tuning. And so yeah, only really race rule first people kind of know. Doing the race rule first comp thing with Dragonus next week, the thing that we get fucking wrong every single patch, yeah. I'm pretty sure we had 0 fucking Windwalker monks that one tier in our Undermine tier list, or Undermine prediction. I'm pretty sure I was like trying to convince him to put 1 in, and then they ran like fucking 2 and 3. Was your Valera getting up there? 72, 73 maybe?
Marked for death.
Dead.
We can do better this time.
Acapella again? Oh my god. Including 0 Warlocks won't be a mistake? Oh yeah, that was just on accident. Although admittedly Warlock was not that insane, but... he still wanted a couple of them. You know why Jack won't be casting? I have no idea. You'll have to ask him. Is this delve shit actually worth doing? No. Hell fucking no. Yeah, I literally just want to turn my stream on today. That's pretty much it. He said he didn't get an offer from Liquid. I mean, I suspect that that's just the answer then, yeah. I don't know. I just work here, bro. And by work here, I mean, I don't even work for Liquid. I literally just fucking... I just work here. Arms Warrior stacking, Evoker stacking X-Ray. It's kind of what I was thinking too. I actually think like Destro and Frost Mage are both pretty good too. Yeah, I mean that's the reason that I understood that Jack wasn't casting as well as they didn't get asked. I mean, I don't, unless somebody knows more than me, I have no reason to believe that that's not true. Would have respect Dev.
Some meadows and miscreants have spread acorns around the cradle. Clean them up, won't you?
Like, there's a couple of bosses that are pretty late in the raid that are fairly valuable. The Coiled Altar and Twin Fangs, and those are 2 target cleave fights. So you're looking at like Frost Mage, Arms Warrior, Dev Evoker, Esther Warlock, that kind of stuff, right? Did Blizzard nerf Ring of Glory? Nah, it's just on a different reset. Did Echo and Liquid agree to prepare less alts this tier? No. I feel like Echo... I wouldn't be shocked if Echo feels like they need a win, and so they'll do anything that gives them the best advantage, even if it's a little bit torturous. What is the Smere? It's the year of the Smere, bro. They win money? No. I mean, they're just the most fucking competitive people. These people who compete in the race roll first are the most competitive people you know. What's the point? I mean, yeah, why even try? Why try? Nonchalance is cool. Trying and caring about things is very uncool. Yeah, like what? I don't know. What the fuck? Yeah, they want to win.
Out inside our strongholds. Clean out these pests, won't you?
Maybe CDM profile? My CDM's through Ellesmere UI. Usually there's something you win outside of bragging rights. Oh, well, they play World of Warcraft. Let's not be so silly. The number for Liquid is 14. The number for Echo is 16. Why is Max putting out fake news? I think he just said the wrong number. I think it's literally all that came down to. I think he just said the wrong number. Isn't there cash prizes from winners from sponsors? No.
Swim, dive, hide.
Sponsors don't give a fuck if you win or lose. Sponsors care whether or not, like, what's your average viewership on your broadcast. I don't think it's like, oh yeah, Max is putting out fake news. I think he just said the wrong number. I think it's literally just all it came down to. Are they rich people who are good at WoW? What are we playing fucking polo out here? Bro, nobody's getting rich off WoW. You do it for the fucking love of the game, bro. You getting a haircut? I don't know, probably not. You think viewership will go down equals sponsors disappear equals race roll first suffering if Liquid keeps winning for too long in a row? I don't know. Liquid's average viewership is going up every single tier now. Is that... So this is the conversation I was having yesterday, a couple days ago, where I actually don't... I'm not convinced that, like, for individual organizations, the best thing... Like, if you're... You know, you work for Liquid. Not even like a raider, but if you work for Liquid, the best thing from like a sponsorship perspective might actually be that Echo die. And the same thing goes for the other way around, right? I don't know this to be true, because there's kind of like a, you know, how many people watch the race world first because it's competitive, and how many people watch the race world first because it's on? What would happen if there was like only one show in town? It's like, my theory is that the viewership of the only show in town would go up as opposed to go down, even though the competition is less steep. Even though as a viewer it's, you know, maybe a little bit less interesting. Higher average but lower peaks. Yeah, and I mean that maybe also could be accurate. I could believe that. I wouldn't watch if one guild died. Yeah, but I think most people would still just turn it on. And like if it's the only show in town, then like I think that it's you know, I think that the average viewership of that one show would probably go up. Have you covering Classic Plus at all? No, but I'll probably be playing it for fun. I'll probably stream it some. Maybe I'll make some videos if I'm really enjoying it. Just say that. Most views is when both guilds are pulling at the same time. What? Okay. Yes, but that's also... Okay, look at it like this. If there are 100,000 cumulative viewers, right? And they're split evenly among the two organizations. 50,000 to Liquid, 50,000 to Echo. We're just using these numbers. There's probably some subsection of them that are crossover viewers, right? We'll say 20,000 of them are crossover viewers. Right, they'll watch both. Right, so I guess the number is like what? 60,000 Liquid, 60,000 Echo or something. If Echo's broadcast goes away, my theory is that half of the people that are only exclusively watching Echo would then go and watch Liquid. It's not 100%, you know, and it's probably less. It's definitely less hype, but I can't imagine for sponsors, the only thing that you give a fuck about is like average viewership, right? How many people are how many eyes are on your product? And I think that like if there was only one show, if there's a monopoly on the Race to World First shows, I'm pretty sure that would just be more viewers for the sponsors themselves. I don't think sponsors give a singular fuck about who wins or loses. They literally just care about eyes on the prize. Like that's just how marketing works, right? Like they don't care. That's like that. Yeah, they're like they don't care. Undervaluing how much the competitive aspect adds to viewership? I mean, maybe. I'm pretty sure the average viewership would at least go up in some capacity, though. I think the competition makes it a more entertaining watch. But like, what is the raw number of viewers that would change? I'm not really sure. Doesn't Echo have higher viewership than TL? The main broadcast, yes. Overall, I'm not 100% sure. I think because there's like there's this weird shit where you have to add Max and the Team Liquid main broadcast together. Historically, Echo had more, but I'm not 100% sure. If everyone who watches stays a Race Needs competition, I would argue that average viewership would drop to Splits level. I'd be shocked if it dropped that low. The reason that you don't watch Splits isn't because it's non-competitive, it's because the content's fucking boring. Max plus Team Liquid is higher than Echo plus Genji? Yeah. I feel like that's maybe right, but I'd have to look at the numbers. I mean, this is certainly... It's easy to, like, find out. It's not, like, that hard. Do you have insights as to what region has more viewers in the race? I mean, Europe is 1.5x the size of NA. Europe is just a much bigger region for World of Warcraft, I think. Always been like that, right? Just look at how much viewership increases when both guilds are pulling at the same time. That's the importance of the hype. With one guild dying, the race would collapse after 1 to 2 raids. Okay, I think that is partially true. I think that there's a part of that that's wrong, though, because I think that you're conflating something that's kind of important, right? One of the biggest peaks in Race World First history was Echo killing the Jailer. That shit was non-competitive, right? That was a non-competitive tier. Liquid had literally already thrown in the towel, and one of the largest Race World First peaks was Echo killing the Jailer. So, like, you're talking about, like, end boss kills, right? Simultaneous end boss kills. The end boss is always going to have the most eyes on it. That's just true. How many more eyes are on it because it's competitive is an interesting question. And one that's hard to answer. But people are going to tune in for the end boss kill no matter what, right? That was also a terrible boss to watch. No, that boss is fucking awful, yeah. When you head out to LA Monday.
Their life essence is yours.
Splits are terrible. I fucking hate that shit. That shit's a bad watch. Splits are also genuine. Splits also are just a bad watch. Like, that's not content. That's like... That is literally like... That shit's awful.
Their life essence is yours.
Bro, I think I'd rather watch Growl fucking run around Silvermoon, genuinely, than watch Splits. Splits is actually miserable. You going to BlizzCon? I am. You see me? Say hello. I see Splits as a pre-show. I mean, yeah. That's kind of how I view it too, right? We're we're getting. I kind of view that's how I view casting splits as well. Is like we're getting back into the groove of the WoW season. What are the hot topics for like the WoW season? Kind of talking about it more as like a podcasting thing, as less as like a all right. And they're gearing up to pull the Coiled Altar Heroic. These are the trinkets we're looking for. The Coiled Altar, it splits into 2 targets at the end of the fight. It's going to be a very interesting decision to see whether or not Liquid is going to be able to do this boss with helpers. We've seen them previously have about 1 in 5 attempts be successful with... And it's like, I fucking hate splits. If you're talking about splits like that, that shit is the most miserable content of all time, right? Speaking of Growl's new videos banger, dude, yeah, I saw that the. Are you talking about the arguing with AI one or the how to actually get good as a player? The arguing with AI one, I ended up like I watched like 5 minutes of it on stream. I was like, what the hell is this? And I ended up watching it all later. And I was like, what the fuck? The get good one. That one was he's fucking real for that one.
That's our target.
The AI video was ass. I thought the AI video was kind of funny. I wasn't really watching it for it to be super insightful. I was just watching it as like a humor piece.
Stay here and recover.
I mean, splits are just kind of that thing. Like the race roll first in particular also is just kind of that thing where if you talk about what's going on the screen at all times, it's going to be fucking awful from like a content perspective. So you have to find out a good way to strike a balance from being entertaining, but also kind of keeping it relative to what's on the screen. And so the best way of doing that, honestly, is just talking about what's going on in World of Warcraft, right? Really viewing it as time to like, you know, talk about the state of the game. But then whenever like something interesting is happening on screen, really making sure that you're dialed in and cued in as to like what's going on. And so it's kind of like you have to have like a good balance, right? You have to be like paying attention to what's happening on screen, but also just like maintaining flow of conversation. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, the important job is like make it entertaining. Like that's literally all it comes down to. Make it. How do you make it entertaining? Chances Ulatek has a secret phase? Low. I think there's a chance that Ulatek has a secret boss. Low key. Like low key. Like low key. Imagine there's a fucking secret boss and they clue in like the race rule first guilds early. Like they tell them that there's going to be a secret boss. But then they have them sign an NDA to where they don't tell anybody that there's going to be a secret boss. So that way it gets fucking blasted. Wouldn't that be cool? No, you can't. You know where THD no shit? Yeah, THD leaked that there was a fucking secret phase to Luro to me. And then I was like, please don't tell me. I was like, I don't want to be spoiled. It's like, you can't tell me, man. Like, please. They told me the triggers at like 33%. And then there wasn't a fucking secret phase trigger. I was like, what the fuck? He lied. Hey, he doesn't lie. He didn't lie. It was just wrong. It cannot be. A secret boss? Nah, probably not. I'm excited to see like what's going on with the 0.5 boss. Wonder if it's gonna be hard. Saying demonic stuff? Oh yeah. I mean, they didn't do anything fuck blood really. What would be the benefit of letting the race roll first teams know about the secret phase from Blizzard's Den? Okay, so in theory, if they told them that there is a secret boss, hypothetically, this is complete hypothetical, and then NDA'd them, right? And then they say they also then went and NDA'd Wowhead, right? To prevent basically the people that have the ability to data mine something of that magnitude and understand like what they're looking at, right? Imagine they NDA'd all of those people. Then that like almost holds the information back in a way. Yeah, you're not telling them to prepare. You're telling them so they don't leak it, right? So then it's like a fun thing, like a fun community thing, as opposed to like a, you know, Because it's really hard to get anything past data mining. Data mining is just...
I fucking hate Tails being happy. What a dickhead. Fuck you, Tails.
Yo, Marin, thank you for the sub. Data mining just like spoils a lot of stuff. I mean, World of Warcraft players love to spoil stuff for themselves. PTR gameplay, raid testing, looking at cutscenes early, data mining the entire world. World of Warcraft players just love to spoil the game for themselves, and so you kind of have to protect them from themselves a little bit. RWF bans add-ons? No, incorrect. Nothing's banned. There's almost nothing banned in the Race Roll First, including add-ons that maybe should have been banned. What's the point of leveling Valera? I wanted to log in the stream today, pretty much. I feel like if Liquid knew about it and wasn't surprised by it, the community wouldn't have the same reaction. No. Nah, I think it would be cool still. Yeah, the lure secret phase is top notch, but the hard part is like keeping stuff like that encrypted. Is there was just like the fact that Liquid and Echo knew that there was a secret phase and then wrote it off as there wasn't a secret phase because they thought the secret phase started at a different point, and then also the fight felt complete. Like that, it's not that they didn't have the information, it's that they wrote it off. Right? They wrote it off after having seen what they saw, which is like...
Their life essence is yours. Claim it.
Are you looting it? Dun-Dun's favor. It's a curio. More than just Wowhead know how to data mine. I mean, yeah, but most people aren't spell diffing bosses and stuff. Like, the only people that are, like, doing diffs on bosses and, like, a bunch of random shit are Race Roll First guilds in, like, Wowhead. Not that it's impossible. Most of them. I'm scrolling back and reading some of the because I was like kind of yapping whenever I was talking about like if one guild died, how the race would perform. NBA viewership spiked drastically when the Bulls dominated in the 90s and the Warriors dominated in the late 2010s. People talk about winning competition, but when it comes down to watching, they'll tune into either support or get lucky and see the dominant team lose. I mean, the race isn't head-to-head is kind of how I view it. Even though people, like, you know, people talk about it being a head-to-head thing. Like World of Warcraft is not exactly... You're not exactly playing head-to-head. So it's, like, a bit weird, right? I do think that it would certainly be less hype, which is true. I think... I can't imagine that, like, if one organization died... that the other organization wouldn't have absorbed some of their percentage of viewership and become a slightly larger stream. I'm not saying it's becoming like a 2x, right? Like, I'm not saying they're absorbing 100% of their viewers, and it's probably not going to feel the same, right? But I'm saying that I would not be shocked from like a sponsorship perspective if there was more eyes, if there was only one show in town, if there was more eyes on that one show. That's the. It would probably be a slightly worse watch. It would be, you know, less relevant, like less culturally relevant for WoW players. You know, it would be worse, but I think it's probably more. It would probably be more overall viewers for one team. And I think that at the end of the day, yeah, like L.L says, I think there's a lot of people that still want to see the best teams fight against the hardest content. Because I think that while competition is relevant, ultimately, at the end of the day, it's two guilds competing against bosses. They're not competing. They are competing against one another in a way, but they're really fighting the bosses. It's very infrequent that guilds actually make decisions based on like what other guilds are doing. There's obviously strategy stuff, which was not what I was referencing. I'm talking about like more of like a meta level. I'm not talking about like you're changing your strat on a boss. I'm talking about like I'm deciding to change the times that I'm rating based on the times that another guild is rating type of beat. That's what I mean more so. It does happen occasionally. Very rare.
Their life essence is yours. Claim it.
They're way behind, but they could have a shot. I feel like I would give Method a less than 1% chance. I think if they ran back the Race to World first 100 times, I'm not sure Method actually wins one. I give Method a 5% chance. You think that if the race is simulated 20 times, Method wins one? I can't imagine that.
Hide in the shadows, quickly.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just like I personally don't see that number being that high. I feel like the number is Method wins 1 in 100 or 0 in 100.
Stay here and recover. The Crimson Orbs will restore you.
How I view it is, for Method, if they came in second place, that is a colossal feat for them. If Liquid or Echo come in second place, that is the worst day of their year. And I think that that's kind of how I view it. So not only would they have to exceed expectations in coming in second, they would have to exceed expectations so far and come in first. Like, how does that, like, there's maybe a world, like, but again, I'm saying like 1 in 100.
The Crimson Orbs will restore
I'm not even 5%. I'm like 1%, but I think the number I'm at is like less than 1%. I think I'm 0.5%. I'm like 1 in 200 simulations on the race or something fucking insane.
Their life essence is yours. Claim it.
I think Stellar Ramp is worth taking. I don't know. I'd have to consult the robot. When you run in and out of that delve, I'm collecting Valera Sanguinar reputation for no reason.
You're here. Good.
No good reason. I'm bored. I want it to be a 3-horse race, but it's just not. I mean, yeah, that's how I feel about it too. Like, it's really, I want it to be. Like, it would be cooler if it was like actually 3 competitive guilds, but it just genuinely isn't. Think about it like this. For all of the Method Raiders, if they wanted to raid in a world, if they want to raid in the Race to World first, they join Liquid or Echo. They don't just sit there and bide their time in Method. If they really want to raid for World first, they join Liquid and Echo. And I think Liquid and Echo kind of get their pick of the litter of Method players too. And I think that kind of says everything that you need to know about how Method players view Method and how
Their life essence is yours. Claim it.
everybody kind of views Method, right? Or how everybody should view Method, rather. I think Method's been the exact same skill level since...
Oh, there you are.
Sepulcher? Really about then? I feel like they've been pretty much the exact same skill then, since then. I'm not... Yeah. I feel like every single tier, I look at it and I say the same thing. I go, oh wow, it's like, oh wow, they're not that far off. But I say the same thing every single tier. It's, oh wow, they're not that far off. They were only 20, 24, 32 hours behind. Let's Castle Nathria. I think they were a little bit worse than Nathria. I think pieces in like BDG dying actually allowed Method to have some additional talent. I think that those two guilds dying opened up the talent pool a little bit for Method players. God, got hit by a trap. Dead.
Their life essence is yours. Claim it.
Or uncapped. They should be, but there was also supposed to be crests that dropped off the single question mark Nemesis boss this week, but they don't.
I'll shield.
Method got a bunch of big name people from Echo and stuff, just doesn't matter. Well, yeah, the thing is, it's like soccer, right? Where the best way to improve your team isn't to add a bunch of big name superstar level players. The best way to improve your team is to replace the worst person in your guild with somebody who's slightly better than them. You want to bring up the average. You don't, like, as it turns out, like, having superstar players isn't really a thing. Because ultimately, you're just a cog in the machine, right? You're 1 in 20. And that 1, as unfortunate as it is not impactful relative to the 20. And so the best way that you can have the most... it's kind of like the same thing with like everybody's raid team, right? Whenever you're looking at your own personal guild, look at it the same way, right? Where the best way that you could down the boss isn't by recruiting THD lock to your guild. The highest success rate that you would have for downing the boss faster is if you replace the bottom 5 players on your roster with different people who are slightly better. And it's especially true in WoW rating, where the bottom 5 players on your roster can seriously sandbag the fuck out of you. I mean, because like look at like death logs at the end of the night. Like if you look at death logs at the end of a raid night, you'll see some people are just dead ass running it down, and for some people it's just already clicked, right? And so if you replace those 5 people that are running it down with 5 people that it's already clicked for, you're already going to be progressing the next step. And so the best thing that you can do isn't like actually get superstar level players; it's replace your worst players with somebody who's like slightly better.
Is yours. Claim it.
If you bring in THC and you replace the worst person on the roster, sure. But like, they replaced Nate with Now, and Now is, I think, one of the most accomplished players in WoW. I was about to say the most accomplished, but I don't think he's number 1, but I think he's very fucking close. Right? Like, I think he's one of the most accomplished players in WoW. They replaced Nate with Now, and they're tanking... Could argue it got worse because there was like internal conflict, right, with their tanks. Not from like a personal play standpoint, but from like a cohesion standpoint.
Stay here and recover.
I think there was a clip of like, I think it was him and Andy were like getting into it on Dimensius, right? But now is really fucking good. And that's kind of the point, right? It's like you can't just
Draw a
like
healing circle.
in a Mythic Plus team, it's a lot easier for one person to carry the fuck out of your team, especially a tank. But in a Mythic Plus team, it's a lot easier for one person to carry the fuck out of your team.
Essence is
In
yours.
Raid,
Claim it.
you know, it's a lot more precarious. Yo, good morning. Good morning, Foul. Good morning, Attack. I'm farming XP for Valera because reasons. You need a better manager. I mean, yeah. I mean, coaching and tactics are always like incredibly important, arguably understated. But
Got you.
I mean, there's been studies about this, right? I think there's like a Malcolm Gladwell book about this exact thing, where some sports, I think maybe it was like Blink, I can't remember. I think there's a Gladwell book that was about this specific thing, where there's some sports like basketball where getting a superstar matters a lot because you know it's a sport of five.
Shadows, quickly.
But whenever you're looking at large group tasks, like, and he used soccer as an example, the best thing that you can do to increase your win percentage isn't by getting a superstar. If instead you spent that money and replaced the three worst people on your team or the two worst people on your team with people that were like marginally better, it would be way better off. WoW is harder than basketball. A fucking men. Good comms. What's Doug's favorite treat? Is it Churu? It's definitely Churu, yeah. Is that what Moneyball is kind of about? Yeah, I think Moneyball, yeah, that's a good example.
I've drawn a healing circle.
Moneyball A's. But there are some sports like basketball where one singular player has significant impact, but most sports specifically aren't even like that. Team sports in particular tend to have like a higher emphasis on the collective than it does on the individual. And WoW rating is something similar, where the collective is far more important. Oh yeah. Max salary with cap. Pay them the super max, bro. Superior minds. Yeah. World of Warcraft is superior minds. Amen. Add a salary cap to the race. Yeah. Dude, I was explaining the race to my mom one time. Oh my god. Funny fucking shit. She was like, I was trying to explain to her how it's not a... I was genuinely talking to her about like this method situation. She goes, why doesn't the third place team just buy the talent from the top two? And I just fucking laughed. I was just like, okay, that's good call. She goes, well, yeah, like any other industry, what the third place team would do is they would try tooth and nail to beat the top two by buying up their talent. I was like, holy shit, good comms. I was like, Mom, unfortunately, the best teams also have the most money to spend. And she goes, oh, well, huh.
Their life essence
That does
is
seem a
yours.
little bit perilous.
Claim it. Keep fighting. I'll shield you.
Love you, Mom. You think Blizzard will announce the new expansion at BlizzCon? Well, I mean, we already know the new expansion, right? I wouldn't be shocked if the BlizzCon announcement... Okay, so, like, they're going to have an announcement for retail. There's kind of an interesting question of, like, what is it going to be? Because 12.1 has just come out. The Last Titan is likely to come out... So what? When's the next patch? Probably, like, November, if I had to guess. What's the speculation on the next patch? November?
I've drawn a healing
Something like that? No, not November. Fucking January? I don't even know why I said November. Speculation on the next patch is like, what, January? So beginning of next year? And so, next expansion would probably be like August.
The
Yeah.
crimson orbs will restore.
That's like, I feel like that's like normal WoW cadence. Like August of next year. I think it's kind of unlikely that they have a ton of info for Last Titan. Because like I feel like for the most likely time where they would be doing a bunch of announcements about pre-stuff for Last Titan would be like not a year out, but maybe. Yeah, next patch January. Yeah. I don't know. I said November, and then I was like, that's definitely wrong. I don't know why the fuck I even said that. Like January. Oh, January, February. Okay, yeah, something like that. So I feel like I don't know what they're going to announce for retail. I wouldn't be shocked if a decent amount of the retail announcements, if they have a really big, like, I think that they may have to like do something big for a 12-2. Like if they hit us with a really big 12-2 patch and did something like pretty large, right? That would make sense. I don't know. Because it doesn't really feel like timing-wise there's a lot for retail. I mean, maybe they'll start announcing systems for Last Titan, but now is not the time. Like, now really isn't the time to be announcing them. But yeah, I mean, obviously, Classic is going to be the big selling point at the con. I just don't even know what the fuck they'll announce for retail. A teaser trailer, then big 12-2 news. Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if it's something along those lines too. Something small for retail specifically. If they have like big 12-2 stuff planned, I think it could all make sense, right? You get your Blizzard contacts change their mind about the mage nerfs? No.
Oh.
A teaser trailer and yeah, I feel like we're gonna be low in terms of the retail announcements. Like this is genuinely like not a good time for like retail announcements. It's like way too early into the expansion cycle to be slamming down next expansion hype stuff. Because like the optimal time would be even hypothetically if BlizzCon was at its normal date. So historically, BlizzCon's been around Halloween, October 30th weekend. And so if BlizzCon was like that time, it makes a bit more sense for them to then start announcing Last Titan stuff. But because it's so close to 12-1, it really just doesn't make that much sense. So I don't know what the fuck they're even going to announce for retail. Retail is like a little bit of a weird spot just in terms of like actual timing. Should it be TLT Alpha soon? TLT Alpha is probably not for... When the hell would that come out? April? May? Something like that? Yeah.
Let's not waste time.
You think we'll get normal expansion launch stuff? You think we're gonna get like... I mean, I feel like they almost have to. Because like, what else are they gonna fucking announce? But also, it doesn't make sense. It's so early.
Got you a rock.
It's like announcing Shadowlands right after, like, the same week as Asharo's Eternal Palace came out, and you're like, huh? Still a lot of expansion left. Like, what? Yo, what up? Kids soon? I'm not having kids. I was just kidding. No kids in my future. I don't want kids. They're expensive. And annoying. Daddles. Absolutely not. Why would I want to have kids? Then I can't play World of Warcraft. Yeah, I can get another cat instead. Close to 80, pretty close. Yeah, exactly. Go get another cat. I love my kids. Yeah, I don't feel paternal. Candidly. I don't want kids. I'll be. How much XP are you getting per curio? 4,062. Girlfriend? I don't know. We talked about it. The Inditettle's bloodline. Look. Okay. The West needs more children. Yeah, from somebody else. You get more XP per curio the higher level your Valir is. Passing your takes on. Look. Debating playing Havoc? Oh my god. Havoc woked. You do a choice, that's right, baby. It's faster to level this way? Yeah. $26. I mean, I think I can just like click it and show it, right? It was experience bar. Yeah, you get more based on Valir level. So it didn't show me a stream. I mean, YouTube is objectively really fucking bad at promoting live stream content, yeah. YouTube, insanely good for discoverability for videos. Especially if you don't have much reach. YouTube, insanely bad for live stream content. Shorts and longs are by far the YouTube bread and butter. Live streams, they are also available. Dude, vault weeklies on your 4th alt? Oh my god, yeah. This is what I was saying, like... No mediums? Yeah, no mediums. Longs. I'm using Ellesmere damage meter. Ellesmere UI damage meter. Okay, I have a question. I was talking with Evate. I have a question for you guys in chat. I'm interested in everybody's thoughts. There's no wrong answer. So, the question was posed yesterday. Whenever you think about World of Warcraft, what is the thing that you want the most out of the game? So, for example, for me, whenever I was talking about this, I said that the thing that I care about the most is the desire to want to log in every single day, right? I don't really care how it happens, but the thing that I want to do the most is I want to log into World of Warcraft for 8 hours a day, and whenever I log out, I'm happy and excited to have played World of Warcraft for that extended period of time, right? There are many points in time in which this happens for me. It's not always It's not always the case, but that's how I feel about it. For Evade, it was logging into a class and that class feeling incredibly satisfying, and the combat of it feeling very, you know, satisfying in a way that he enjoys. Number go up. I think number go up is a very common answer, right? The dopamine of number go up is, I think, probably a very common answer.
Useful.
To me, it's like having good progression to the point where I want, like, for me, it's like it's not specifically gated around character progression, but it's having good progression as a whole to the point where there's something for me to always be looking to do. Kind of like commoditizing work. That makes sense. An exceptional story, campaign, and world. I want it to feel like an RPG. Okay, interesting. An online living invested world where long-term character progression matters. Okay. Good housing, and I got that, so I'm all good. Okay, interesting. You're all good. Okay. Like I said, there's no wrong answers. I was just interested in people's thoughts. 8 hours a day. Some of us have real jobs. Okay, it's not even about playing 8 hours a day. It's do you know that like addicted feeling that you get to the fucking whenever you're addicted to something? Maybe this is. I suspect this is not unique to me, but maybe this is unique to me. That addicted feeling whenever almost all of your waking time is consumed by like, okay, whenever I get some time to play this video game, these are the things that I want to do. These are the things that I want to improve on. This is what I want to get better at. This is what I want to do. That feeling is like crack cocaine. Like that feeling, inject that shit in my veins. If I could have that feeling from World of Warcraft every single day, every single season, that is like the dopamine that my entire existence is based off of. That shit is like watching myself progress, like progressively get better at like making YouTube videos and making YouTube thumbnails. That shit is like the progression of it all is insanely addicting to me. And it's kind of the same thing with WoW, where it's like I want to like grind my fucking head off and be addicted to it. Great forehead, thank you. About feeling fulfilled whenever you log out, regardless of the amount of time that you put in. Yeah, I think that's exactly it's a good way of articulating it, I think. A reason to keep pushing for me. The 1% title was a good addition to the dungeon pool. Okay, yeah. I think there are a lot of people that have high desires for achievement-based progression. And I think that probably the most two common things are going to be something where it's like number go up, character-based progression is probably the most popular, and the second most popular is something probably slated towards achievement-based progression. Those are probably the number 1 and 2 most popular things, if I had to guess. But it's interesting that some people said like I really want like an insanely immersive world in like an RPG. Like the RPG elements matter to me a lot. It's kind of an interesting take. The housing also. I mean, that makes sense. I used to have that in the start of vanilla. I fear my entire time playing this game has been chasing that feeling. Oh, interesting. I feel like I get it in spurts, right? So like for me, whenever I first had that feeling towards World of Warcraft was whenever I first started playing the game, right? Like Warlords of Draenor. It took me about like 2 months to really get the hang of the game, but then there was like probably a 6-month window in WoD where I was fucking religiously just like painfully addicted to World of Warcraft. I was averaging like 7 hours a day or something like that I was playing. And then, you know, the end of WoD, I wasn't really playing that much. I wasn't really logging in. And then Legion came out, and that was the most addicted that I think I've been to fucking anything on this planet. It was Legion. And then it was like BFA came out, and that expansion was pretty good, but I was getting it in spurts, right? I was no longer like, oh, this is like an insane daily addiction. It was more just like, this is like a seasonal, almost a seasonal addiction, where there's some points in time where it's more fun than others. And then Dragonflight happened. You know, I don't talk about Shadowlands. That expansion fucking sucked. But then Dragonflight happened, and I was back, right? Like, I was out for a little bit in Shadowlands, and then I was fucking all the way back in Dragonflight. Like, I want to log, like, the desire, the craving of, like, wanting to log in every single day for 8 hours is something I heavily crave. And just, like, the internal satisfaction of it all. It's like, and I think a lot of it comes through, like,
I fucking hate Tals
progression.
being happy. What a
Feeling
dickhead.
like I'm progressing
Fuck you,
something.
Tals.
That feeling for me is the most addicting thing. Addicted to the addiction. Yeah, exactly. I'm addicted to the feeling of being addicted to something, right?
From nature. Useful.
It's like my hyperfixation is like the thing that controls my life. Serene, do you dirty. Thank you for the sub. The Legion World Tours? Dude, the Legion had some shit that sucked ass. I'm not gonna lie. There was some stuff in Legion that was not very good. Unmatched in terms of how much fun I had. I had by far the most fun playing Legion, even though there was some... Even through all the bullshit, I had the most fun. That was... Nobody was having more fun than me, I think. BFA was a top 3 expansion. Dude, I think BFA was good. I genuinely think that Blizzard learned the wrong lessons after Legion, frankly. Like, I think that they took the game in a slightly wrong direction. I think Legion, while it was... There was some shit that was... like I won't say some shit. There was a decent amount of stuff that was, like, really troll about the expansion. I think that they genuinely learned the wrong lessons with the expansion itself. Azure Armor was so bad. Yeah. It's crazy because they tried to bring back legendaries in Shadowlands, and they took the things that everybody found super fun about Legion legendaries, like crafting, and implemented them in Shadowlands, and they were so successful. Like crafting and having no choice. WoW feels kind of empty. It's kind of a feeling that I get with it too. WoW feels like I log in at the beginning of a season for, you know, I'll grind through Mythic Raid, and then I'll get to where I want to get in terms of like Mythic Plus, and then I just like don't care to log in anymore, right? And that used to not happen to me. There used to always be something to do. And I think that it feels a little bit hollow. Gearing too fast. I think it's not necessarily just gearing too fast. I think it's like something with character progression specifically. Not even just gearing, but like... Again, I think that Blizzard clearly has a problem with it because they keep introducing shit like the Turbo Boost and the Omnium Folio every single season. So it's like, you know, there's clear thoughts behind it. Artifact power wasn't that bad. Look, at the time, I don't think Titan Forging was like... Artifact power was like pretty okay. Titan Forging was really fucking stupid. Okay, so there's problems with both systems, right? So like there was pros and cons to both. The pros of Titan Forging and Artifact power is that it keeps you logging in. It kind of always gives you something to do. Artifact power, obviously the biggest con with that is that it didn't let you really multi-spec. So the solution was to remove artifact power, right? It wasn't to fix it, it was to remove it. But is that really the lesson? And the thing with Titan Forging as well is like the pros of Titan Forging is that it kind of always gives you the ability to seek out an upgrade. The cons of Titan Forging...
Bounty from nature. Useful.
How do I even say this? You feel like a hamster on a wheel a little bit. And so the answer is to then remove it, right? Which, again, I don't know if that's the exact answer. I think the answer is to tweak it, not to remove it. AP is very easily fixable by warbands. Okay, but there's also, interestingly enough, you say that, but there's some subset of players that don't want stuff to be fixable by warbands, right? So there's probably a growing level of unhappiness by people who want to log in each and every single day into one character, their singular main, and not play alts. And they're disconcerted with what World of Warcraft has become, right? And they want to log in each and every single day, but now World of Warcraft's been designed for you to play a bunch of fucking alts, right? I think those players are the minority. I think that those players were the super majority for a very long period of time. I'm not 100% sure that those players are the minority. And there's something kind of interesting whenever you have everybody's alt being the same power as their main. While it's easy to make an alt the same power as your main, and I don't work on fucking Blizzard, so I'm not really one to say. There is something lost by making it frictionless, right? An MMO is a game that is based on how satisfying the friction feels. It's a game that's supposed to commoditize working, right? Like, in quotation marks. Like, you're doing work to gain something. Yeah. Love some good friction. Yeah, and I mean, I think that it's especially from a Blizzard perspective, it's about making things that feel satisfying. And I think that borrowed power is a good example of this. I had some guy tweet this at me today, even. Hold on, I'll show you. Some guy tweeted something at me today that had me thinking about this specifically, too. So I had an interview with Taylor Sanders and Andrew D'Souza. These are like lead encounter designers. He said, "Why did you ask why there are 3 separate borrowed power systems in the first half of the expansion lifecycle when they said they were moving away from borrowed power systems because they, quote, heard player feedback and they're unanimously hated?" Obviously, the answer to this is like, these guys don't do this shit. Like, these guys aren't systems designers. These guys make raids in Mythic Plus. But like, this comment had me thinking. I don't think people actually hate borrowed power. I think they hated bad borrowed power. Like, I think that Shadowlands had really bad borrowed power. I think, look at Essences and Corruption in BFA. That shit was beloved, and that was borrowed power. Like, people hate it when it's poorly designed, but I don't think people hate it whenever it's, like, unique and interesting. I just hate weekly chores. I mean, so you probably hate the fucking vault, right? There's a lot. I will say, I get some dopamine out of completing weekly chores. I think it's something something with my tism a little bit, where it's like, oh yes, checklist. Oh yes, checking things off the checklist. And then I rub my hands together a little bit, and I'm like, I think the vault sucks, right? Like, I don't think the vault is interesting, but I don't think it's like, oh yes, chores. It's interesting you word it like that. Chores suck. But, like, how do you make them not feel like a chore? And I think that's the $1 million question for Blizzard specifically, right? Is like, how do you make them not feel like a chore? Because ultimately, playing an MMORPG, you are, again, commoditizing work, right? In quotation marks. Like, work being... You invest time and you get power. The ways in which you obtain said borrowed power were bad. Yeah, I mean, they just designed really shit tier systems. I don't think I look at tier sets and I'm like, yeah, these are dog shit. I'm like, yeah, tier sets. I like tier sets. I think tier sets are fun. In fact, whenever they removed tier sets, I was sad to see them go for a bunch of different reasons. From a class flavor reason, from like a shaking things up from patch to patch reason. And then this guy being like, oh yeah, they should remove all borrowed power. Borrowed power bad. I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm super polarizing on it like that. I feel like it's just whenever, I mean, Shadowlands had awful borrowed power systems, right? Like, Torghast was terrible. Legendaries were god-awful. What Shards of Domination, fucking Lamau. What an awful system, right? That shit was bad.
Bounty from nature. Useful.
mean, Azerite armor was not very good, but then fucking corruption and essence. I think essences ruled. I don't know if that's like an unpopular opinion. I thought that the Azerite neck and Azerite power was god awful, and then they released essences, and that shit was just like crack. I don't know, like they turned that stupid useless necklace into just crack that you injected into my veins, and I'm shooting this laser out of my character. Like, give me more. Like, please. But yeah, no, I don't know. I think also I've had this like weird experience too lately, and that guy's like super opposed to borrowed power. But I think that there was God, I didn't really start thinking. I don't watch Bellular all too often because I think some of his videos are pretty good, and I think some of them like, you're kind of out in the weeds, bro. I was watching one recently. I think it was about OSRS, funnily enough, and he was talking about World of Warcraft patches. Or World of Warcraft's Midnight expansion launch feeling like an additional patch to WoW. And he said that, and it literally just like, I don't even know what it was. It just like unlocked something in my mind where I was like, damn, they really deadass did release Midnight, and it didn't feel like there was a new expansion, huh? There wasn't anything like super new, super novel. Instead, it really is continued of the same trajectory that they've been on with the, you know, in-game pillars being roughly the same. You get new versions of in-game pillars, but it's all about the same. And whenever he said it, I was like, oh wow, he's actually right. Huh. Evading and obnoxious. I think Bellular for me, I feel like I kind of know what I'm getting whenever I'm watching a Bellular video, and so it's like some of them I'm interested in. Like, he does pretty good reporting, I think, is like kind of his highlight, at least for me. And then some of his shit I'm like, yeah, I mean, you don't play retail. Some of it kind of triggers me because it's like pretty clear to me that he's not like actively playing retail. And so then he says some shit and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? But like the Midnight expansion thing feeling like an additional patch thing, that shit like, that like unlocked something in my brain. I'm like, damn, he's actually right. Dragonflight Part 3? Yeah, no, I mean, he's absolutely right. And I feel like that's almost a mistake. Like, why did we get a new expansion and it doesn't feel like an expansion? Why did we get a new expansion and it felt like a patch? I was like, I mean, it's like I still play WoW and I still love WoW, and I think that guy is a bit too negative for my blood. Mostly also because like consuming a bunch of negative content, like, I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. Getting rage baited is not really I'm not into getting rage baited, frankly. But yeah, it was a really interesting point whenever he said it. Like, Which is it's interesting because it's nice for some people, right? It's not all bad. So like, Blizzard's now designed the game with a really easy jumping in and jumping out point. They've designed it in a way to be so seasonal that you can jump in and out basically on a whim and experience stuff pretty easily. But in the past, you know, if you wanted to log in for WoW, you knew that you had like a massive kind of grind ahead of you. You know, hundreds of hours, maybe even 1,000 hours, maybe even multiple thousands of hours, right, of a grind ahead of you before you could get back in. But now, since they've designed it in a way where you can almost like seamlessly jump in and out and have like almost no it's almost frictionless. That's good for some subset of people. But then, if the thing that you care about the most is making your character more powerful week in and week out, that's tough. And then the same thing goes for like expansions, where I'm sure it's good for some people that the expansions feel roughly the same and you kind of know what you're going to get. But for people who are looking for something new and something exciting, it's like, it's got to be a little bit of a letdown. Because like, I didn't even consider the fact that I didn't even feel like this was a new expansion until he said it, and I was like, wow, he's actually right. This really did not feel like a new expansion. I did get new zones, but like it doesn't feel like anything is different. And I think that it's something about the feeling. It's hard to really pinpoint exactly what it is. Speaking of rage bait, address my previous question. I don't think the vault feels like a chore, but it's just doing stuff that I want to do anyways. No, that's valid as fuck. I think that they should have iterated on the vault. I think the vault is like fine. Like I think the vault is a really good concept. I think the vault is like a bit stale. Gearing been stale for a minute. Yeah, I think there's something to be said about that. Is bonus rolls not iterating on the vault? No.
There you are.
Whenever I say iterating on the vault, I'm talking about like, I'm not talking about like single step changes, right? I'm not talking about, oh yeah, this one specific change to make the vault 10 times better. Because I don't think that much in World of Warcraft actually improves by like level 1 changes. I think like a lot of it really needs like super thoughtful, like resilient. A lot of people apply like 1 level changes to the resilient system and they're like, yep, this is gonna make it better. But I think resilient needs like almost like maybe even the keystone system needs like almost a fundamental overhaul. Not in a way that it should be removed, but more in a way that like it just needs to be rethought a little bit. It's kind of like the same thing with the vault. Like, I don't think the vault's like, I think in concept it's good. I think in execution it's slightly bad, and I think that it needs more attached to it. But gearing also, I think, is like fundamentally a little bit bland right now. This is Korthia. That's the worst zone of all time, bro. I'll double down. I'll say that shit. It's just terrible. Hero and Apex talents really don't add enough to make each expansion feel different. But I bet if you asked Blizzard like what they thought, they would start pointing to things like Prey and Void Strikes and housing, right? Like I bet if you asked Blizzard like about this question, they would point at all of these auxiliary sources of content, decor duels and shit, right? Dastardly duos. And yeah, it's just like you. Don't love housing and with Prey. No, but I bet if you asked Blizzard that question, they would say something like that, right? They would say, what do you mean? We have more content streams than ever before. We have housing and Prey.
Marked for death.
I mean, you're ignoring that casuals are the majority. Mythic Raiders / Mythic Plus is the minority. I mean, what, in my experience does not fucking matter at all. How I've sought out enjoyment in the game for 10 years is changed. Well, fuck me. Like, I think everybody's entitled to their opinion. I don't think that my word is the end all be all. Like, please, like, well, fuck me. They've added nothing as false. I think that whenever I look at in-game pillars in terms of content they've created personally, I think it's literally it's Delves, it's Mythic Plus, it's rating. In terms of what's going to keep people logging in each and every single day. There's I'm sure a non-zero subset of people that are going to talk about housing and transmog and achievement hunting. But I think in terms of like what's going to actually get your player base logging in every single day, it's going to be really those big in-game pillars. PvP. Yeah, PvP as well, actually. But that PvP is fucking dead, bro. That shit. They actually ruined that shit too, but. Quite literally had a guy say housing collection was the largest pillar. When's more tuning? Next Friday, I think, right? Housing was a big W. Yeah, but I think housing's kind of interesting. Because I think in terms of, like, making,
Get inside the
if building is your thing, housing is interesting. I had different thoughts about like what housing should be. Like I was hoping that housing was gonna be something that's social, but instead it's more about like building than it is about housing. Like in my mind, what is housing? What would be cool if it was like part of housing is like after every raid night, if you and your guild went to the fucking, whenever you're talking about like the raid fights or whatever after raid, everybody went to their like the guild, their like guild neighborhood and like used it like that. But it's not like social like that, unfortunately. The social aspect's what you make of it, though. I mean, you're absolutely right. It's just like it's hard to really put words to it. It's just a feeling more than anything else, right? A little guild fuck sesh, I'm in. Look, I'm in. Yeah. You're absolutely right, though. I mean, the social aspect is what you make of it. I mean, that's kind of that's the truth of WoW. That's the truth of what WoW's always been. Is like the social aspect is like it's not. Actually, maybe that's not always been true, right? Blizzard really pushed you to be social in different eras of World of Warcraft, and now they're certainly less so. You rated with phased. Yeah. Well, no. Rated. Past tense. Yeah, thank God. An ERP arc? Dude, look, I'm going to the Goldshire and me and TRP3. Like, we do reviews and meetings and I'll log in and talk about it in a house. That's the strat. Like, I wish that shit was common. I don't know. Maybe it's because it came out, like, when it came out. And maybe it will be something that gets picked up in time. But, like, I don't really feel like there's any reason to go to people's house. Like, it's kind of, I don't know. Like, so, like, to me, it's just, like, something that you use, like, it's really good building. But then it's... I mean, it's just it's, like, personal. Like, that's just a personal feeling, right? More than anything. Standing in circles, talking about a strat. Exactly. What's the point in going to someone's house IRL? Socializing. I knock on the door and ask them if they can play. Thoughts? Theft. Called Discord? I mean, yeah.
Useful.
Damn, WoW really did get usurped by Discord a little bit. A lot of the social aspect of WoW got usurped by Discord in a way that's like really, really hard to fix. I mean, I mean, that's fucking guild chat got replaced with Discord. Like, oh my God, that's like the easiest even thing to point to. That's any game, basically. Yeah, I mean, of course. It just makes socializing like something that you don't do outside of closed circles. But I think one of the reasons that I like WoW is like, I don't know. I don't really have any friends IRL, so like I use WoW as like a conduit for my social outlet, right? And the social aspect of WoW is always something that's been appealing to me. My guild's Omega Drive for the social aspect, dude. Yeah, that's why I like raiding. Like, high key, that's actually why I like raiding. Do guild hall and put power gains behind it, and it's a hit feature. Like, low key, I wouldn't be shocked like if there was like, if you got like a feast, just like, you know, a 30% better food buff and you slam down in a guild hall or something, I feel like that would just like almost be a game changer in terms of like the housing design. It would maybe suck for like world design though, because that would be like the world is fucking dead already. Anyways, maybe this wouldn't even matter. The world's already dead. That would be forced. Yeah, but I mean, who fucking cares? Like. Does it matter if it's forced if it's fun? Yeah, I just don't think that there's gameplay reason to do housing. I think that that's maybe my issue with it. That's why I don't really I think that that's why actually I don't whenever I think of major in-game pillars, I don't view housing in the same way, is because I think housing is something that you do as a flash in the pan, not something that keeps, in my opinion, keeps me logging in every single week, because it is designed to be a really good builder, but not long-term progression, right? Not like it doesn't really interact with my character in a way that like makes sense. Yeah, I don't even think it'd have to be something insane. Like, I don't even think... If there was a guild hall and there was, like, a reason to go there, and you would just see your guildies, like, AFKing in there, I think that's, like, a different experience, right? Like, I don't even think you have to be interacting with your guildies inside the guild hall, but if your guildies are AFK inside the guild hall, that's kind of the strat, right? What are you farming? Valera Sanguine on reputation. I'm almost done. Yeah, they could put the fucking vault there too, right? Like it's not like it has to be like insane stuff. Like it doesn't have to be insane power. We're talking like, imagine there was a feast in your guild hall that was hardy. Okay, fuck, because fuck cooking, honestly. But imagine there was a feast in your guild hall that was hardy, and that gave you 30 extra stats. That's enough for people to go to their goddamn guild hall, right? And go get the food buff, and then get on out of there. That by itself, like, makes people go there. I'm not even saying, like, in something insane power. And then you put the vault there. It's tough because, you know, capital cities are almost at odds with, like, housing. Those are, like... Yeah, those are almost two things that are at odds with one another a little bit. Yo, what's up, Nirda? Oh my god. Is that the Classic Plus Guru? Cornholdy? A hot tub and get a buff? Okay. Making it quasi-mandatory is just such a bad take. If people want to do it, cool. If not, then why force people?
My blades are ready.
Look, sometimes you need a push. Sometimes you need a push to do things that you otherwise wouldn't do. You don't have to do it. I don't know why. I don't even know. Like, you're talking about 30... Like, what I said was 30 additional stats from a feast. Like, that shit's like nothing, right? That's like one fucking global. Less. That's less than a global. People do it because they feel compelled, not because it's like actual meaningful. And so then you try to like, yeah. Don't force people to do anything. I mean, yeah. I don't think it has to be like, oh yeah, you have to do this. Like, I'm not saying it's like, oh yes, 15% power gain. You're getting the Onyxia buff, right, by going to your guild house. I'm not saying it's something stupid like that, right? But like having it be completely, I'll say powerless, but like nothing attached to it outside of the building simulator is, in my opinion, you know, there's something there. Especially WoW players, yeah, I mean, especially WoW players. No one does anything in WoW if they're not pushed. A player like Tettles is grinding Valera, Sanguinar, Rep, and a Delve. Look, about the same level of power gain. About the same level of power gain. Content creation jail? Look, ramping. I have not recorded the Mood Kid video yet, but surely soon. Yeah, Blood Decay's still good. Have guildies participate in an event that rewards you with a feast. A feast that lasts a week, right? Oh my god. What if they added Clash of Clans to World of Warcraft? This week, my clan, we are going to be raiding Pop-Tart Corn Dog. We're going to be taking down their homes, pillaging them, and stealing their gold.
Their life essence is yours. Claim it.
We got clan raids. PvP to the next level. Holy fuck, that would be heat. Anything about the disc changes? I'm pretty sure it's damage down, healing neutral, right? The Red Empire's coming to retail. Oh my god. That would be really fucking funny if they did that.
Bounty from nature.
Guys, is it better to have a max Town Hall 9 or a rush Town Hall 11? I think about the Arcane nerfs. I don't know. Arcane was like really, really good, right? The fuck did you say? Is it better to have a max Town Hall 9 or a rush Town Hall 11?
Bounty from nature. Useful.
You had decent gear from tier 11 delves? Oh, I don't know. Not really. I think that gear in the vault caps out at 6. Saying it again doesn't make it better. It's some stupid Clash of Clans shit. Gone?
Their life essence is yours.
Yeah, no.
Claim it.
Look, all I'm saying is housing is really good for people who love building, but for me, I would have loved housing to be more social. I understand that socialization is really tough to do, like to force onto players, but I mean,
The crimson orbs will restore.
I mean that's the biggest reason I play WoW is for the social aspect of it, right? And so anything that can get me to be more social is of benefit. I'm almost done. Holy fuck, we're done.
Keep fighting. I'll shield you.
Interacting with people? Yeah, I know.
Hide in the shadows, quickly.
Wait, what are you guys talking about? let's not be mean in chat. Okay, how are you getting XP by walking over things? It's American tech. The British can't be told. Us. Dun-Dun's favor. While in combat, one mislaid spirit may appear near you. Walking over a mislaid curiosity or mislaid spirit triggers a volley. Basically, curiosity contents are looted upon activation, so you just walk around them. Yeah, now I can play the game. Yeah, now I can do these level 6 delves that I need for my vault. Wow. The game is finally playable. After 6 hours of mislaid curiosity farming, I can now play the game.
Their life essence is yours. Claim it.
You say that, but they tried stuff like the crafting order system, and everybody hates it. Well, I think the crafting order system is just not designed that well. I think that goes into the same realm as my thoughts on, like,
Fight, I'll fierce you.
Resilient. Actually, no, that's actually even worse. I think that crafting is just fucking shitty. Not like it needs to be deleted, but more like, dude, what the fuck? Yeah. I don't think it's because of socializing. I think it's because, like, it's bad. Like, almost, I feel like almost those are two completely different things. My issue with it isn't, like... Full scored. What am I doing? Yeah, no, my issue with it isn't, like,
Cross me if I
crafting orders and having to socialize with people. My issue with it is, like, getting gouged by stupid idiots in fucking trade chat and embellishments feeling awful. I think that's my issue with it, right? Completely unrelated to, like... The worst part of the system is the other people? Nah. I think the worst part of the system is this stupid progression gear. Like, I don't... Okay, getting gouged by these dumbass cartels is, like, really annoying, but... Also not... was never really big into profession gear anyways.
My loyalties are my own. Their life essence is yours. Claim it.
Considered gouged. Bro, these guys are clicking one fucking button and then they're like, yeah, you need to tip me 5,000 gold.
Get inside the circle.
Dude, no. $5,000 gold is nothing? Bro, they are clicking one fucking button. I'm not paying that. Just make them yourself? I literally just... I just get people in my guild to make them. It's not one button, it's the fact that they have the button and you don't. Yeah, I know. I'm aware of why. It's... I think it's stupid, no? I also think the crafting, the profession gear itself is not very good. Completely unrelated. I understand the supply and demand of it all. I think it's dumb. And I don't pay it. I'm also gonna call the FTC on these stupid-ass crafters and claim that they have some collusion cartel going on, and get unions involved to break this shit up. This shit should not be allowed. I'm looking for a capitalist society. Post that shit publicly. cartel's mass reporting people undercut them. I mean, that does happen, yeah.
I'll heal you.
Stupid though. 5K tip is like tipping the guy who hands you your takeout pizza. Yeah. Amen. 100K per lariat craft. Yeah, lovely. The cartel thing is what MMOs are actually about. Oh, I mean, look. That's actually an interesting take. It's more just like I think the profession gear is dumb. It's less about the crafting cartel and more profession gear is stupid. Is valid.
What happens?
I fucking hate Tails being happy. What a dickhead. Fuck you, Tails.
Yeah, I think it's Black Matrix 0815. Balance Guide win? That's a good question. I have yet to record it. I'm gonna make one for Mythic Plus. I need to look at some sims to figure out like what is exactly gonna be the best build for Mythic Plus. Yeah. Probably Monday. The cartel is what MMOs are actually about. Yeah, I mean that's actually an interesting position. Yeah. I just don't think I really fuck with the I don't think I fuck with the profession gearing just thing in general. You don't have until Monday? What do you mean? The season doesn't start until Tuesday. You casting the race? I am. I am. You think this race is gonna be a banger? I feel like this race is probably gonna be on the easier end tuning wise. Not for any like any advanced knowledge, but I'd be shocked if this race is really hard because of how close it is to BlizzCon, no? Broadcast start on Tuesday? Yes. You got RuneScape, you live YouTube. I mean, I like the socializing. I think crafting is just like a stupid system, I think, in general. It's just not really well designed. Okay, so here's the thing about crafting. Most of it actually isn't about socializing because the stupid ass crafting table is a menu in and of itself, right? If it was actually about like socializing and stuff, there wouldn't even be any fucking menus for it. Like I think this is, it's like all kind of convoluted, no? How would you make WoW crafting better? I have no fucking idea. I don't design video games. I can just point out that it's kind of like not that interesting. Yeah, it's over designed. Yeah, I mean this is like it's like a lot. Dude, I remember in Dragonflight whenever they first introduced the crafting system, I genuinely could not figure out how the fuck it worked. Imagine there's no table, you trade someone the mats to craft something, he just yoinks the mats and logs off. I mean, if everything... Sure, but like if everything's behind a menu, then you're not actually socializing, right? Even though you're typing in trade chat, hey, I need somebody to craft this leatherworking recipe for me, and then they go, 1,000 gold. And then you fucking send it to them and you go, sent. And then they go, TY for business. Right? That's not socializing.
You're here. Good.
the year of the Smere. It's the year of the Smere, bro. Yeah, I got guys whispering me with like fucking bots. I literally got guys with bots that like scrape trade chat and like whisper you frame 1 whenever you type something about needing a craft, and then they point you to their 8th alt. Yeah, you don't have to have a full working solution to say I don't enjoy this. I mean, I think it's just, yeah, I just don't think it's like very interesting. One of the things that made RuneScape housing social was using higher level players building items like prayer altars and portals. Yeah, I mean, I think that like, I don't think it needs to be like, it's something insane in housing. Specifically, I don't know. Blizzard has done this thing with WoW specifically, and I think that this is me just longing for something that doesn't exist anymore. I recognize that this is probably what this is. Blizzard has done a bunch of stuff to try to remove socializing as a core of how you get shit done in modern WoW in a way that I'm not like super enthralled with. Oh my god, Wham has gifted the sub. Or Permock, thank you for the gifted sub. But like, it's just like at every step and turn, if you continue to remove some of the friction that creates like social interactions, eventually you get people that aren't talking to one another, right? Like it's like it's a lobby game. And I think if Blizzard's main goal is to make a lobby game, they succeeded. I personally, again, long for the days of when it was like you would talk to a bunch of different people, right? If you wanted to join a Mythic Plus run, people would have fucking Discord linked, and you would join random fucking Vent and Mumble servers for raids that you would get in LFG, right? Not that it was perfect, but there is something that had charm about that.
What happens?
I fucking hate Tattles being happy. What a dickhead. Fuck you,
Sorry, I can't
Tattles.
see who subbed. Thank you for the sub. Gucci Gunther. Yeah, thank you for the sub. But yeah, that's like, again, that's, I think, more of me longing for something that doesn't exist anymore with WoW, because they've taken the game in a different direction. But pretty undeniably, they continue to design the game in a way where you don't have to interact with people in order to be able to do stuff, right? And I think that, like, as like a building block of the genre, you should need to interact with people. But also, it's like, I mean, it's just genuinely like, what? If I was playing this game as a solo player, I deadass would have uninstalled a long time ago. The social interactions and the meaningful connections that I've had with guildies and friends and you know, people I would look at logs of on Warcraft logs and be like, I can out DPS that guy. That guy's a fucking chump, right? Those are the things that like are super meaningful to me. Nemesis. You say that you play the game for social interaction, but I swear on my life you never play with anyone else ever. Yeah, not on stream really. My stream does a lot worse whenever I'm in voice with people. You're 6 stealth. Why? Filling up my vault.
That's our target.
I literally raid 3 days a week for 12 hours a week, right? I raid 12 hours a week, and then I probably do Mythic Plus for another like 12 hours a week with my friends. I don't really stream it that often because, again, it does really poorly. My content just does really bad whenever I'm in voice with other people. Yeah, pretty much it. You don't stream raid? No. I average like 100 viewers when I stream raid. That shit is like actually... I think it's because I'm bad at streaming raid. Like, raid... And it's the same with like high-level Mythic Plus. It actually requires such heavy attention. The reason that people watch World of Warcraft streams is because they're entertaining. But whenever you're actually doing hard content, you can't be entertaining because you have to actually pay attention to what the fuck is going on. It's kind of why watching a raid stream is awful content. Even when a new raid is out? Yep. Even when a new raid is out. Nobody watches that shit. That's just terrible. Whip L takes during raid. Yeah. I think I've also...
Stay here and recover.
Yeah. People play worse in comms? I play the same, but it's more just like my stream does really poorly whenever I'm trying to do hard content, so I don't stream it. But that's almost always the content that I'm doing with people, right? Like, I think I streamed 0 of my 22s and 23s that I got, right? But I got all of those in voice with people that I know. Like, those social interactions are the things that I crave, right? And it's even the non-gaming social interactions, right? Like, almost every night for, like, the last couple of weeks, like, Terrathal, Evade, Twix, Growl, Dorky, Greg, like, all kind of getting voice in Evade's Discord. And we just sit there and we talk about just World of Warcraft, right? Nothing specific. And it's like stuff like that. Petals is boosted confirmed. I mean, that's been known. I've never even been good. Hard Mythic Plus challenge, like using a trackpad. Yeah, my next challenge is actually I'm going to lobotomize myself prior to the challenge and play World of Warcraft as a brand new player, starting with 0 understanding of the English language, the meaning of life, and who I am as a person. And so I'm going to try to build foundational knowledge from the ground up, starting with a lobotomy.
Stay here and recover.
Are we out of ideas? No, I'm not out of ideas. People, oh my god, people, dude, I swear to God, I read some of the videos on the, I think it was like the Thor loser one. Really, I just read some crazy shit. There was a lot of people, and this isn't like an exact quote, but it was genuinely something along the lines of, wouldn't it be crazy if you lobotomized yourself and then tried to play this as a new player? And it's just like, dude, what? This challenge isn't valid because you know too much about how the game works. Like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? What do you want me to do? You in the Mole Hall of Fame? Probably not. Actually, W take. Yeah. L challenge, you should have had 0 gold. You should have only pugged into other people's keys. And in fact, actually, you actually know too much information because you played the game at a high level. How dare you? And you shouldn't watch a guide. And you should only be able to wear Warbound until equipped gear. What? Have you ever considered being dumb? Like, I read the most insane fucking comments. It's just like, what are we doing? Like, this can't be. Do it without a keyboard. Yeah, exactly. I should do it upside down while I'm strapped to the roof by my ankles. Yeah, I should do it drunk. $2,200 to $3,100 off stream. Wait, what? Quit the game for 10 years and then come back into a 0 to hero. That's what I'm saying. Like, people. I get, like, people would just, like, at some point I just had to start adding, like, an insanely weird disclaimer at the beginning. So this disclaimer wasn't at the beginning of my shaman one. And then, like, for the brewmaster one and the And for the healer one, I needed to just, like, at the very beginning of the video be like, look, I know. I'm aware that this is not a challenge. I'm RPing as somebody who is clueless. I have gold. I am doing it on stream. I'm aware. Like, that's not what we're doing here. Like, these people just, like, had this preconceived notion about what the challenge should be, and they were, like, trying to force that shit onto me to the point where I have to, like, have a disclaimer at the beginning of the video where it's just like, dude, this is not what the video, this is not what the video is for. The video is for fun. Like, the video is because I don't want to, like, stream vanilla high keys every single day because that shit's bad content. Genuinely, it's just not that good content. Yeah, marry him. Yeah, have 5 children and then come back and do the 0 to hero. Oh my god. There's also one where it's like, all right, I want you to do a 0 to hero, but I only have 2.5 hours a day to play, so thus you should only have 2 hours a day to play. And I'm like, what? He goes, and then we'll call it the dad challenge. I'm like, bro, I'm just playing a fucking video game. It's not the point. That's not the point. We've missed the point. I'm just doing a fun challenge. It's not to discredit anybody.
Stay here and recover.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's like the, alright, I want you to lobotomize yourself and pretend that you don't know anything about World of Warcraft. Yeah, you have to do the keys while a kid screams in your ear. Yeah, exactly. The dad challenge. Dude, okay, so the thing with the dad challenge is it would actually take me less total time because I would be getting vaults and stuff. My gear would be much better than it currently is. My gear for these challenges normally is like capped at like 1 reset worth of gear. Also, it would be a little bit easier because then I could also spend time outside of the allotted time doing research, right? And so there's always like a, yeah, like the 0 to hero with base UI and new player talent builds. Yeah, that's it. That's that shit that they fucking recommend where I'm like, dude, that's not what I was trying. Oh my god, I'm just trying to have fun, man. Learn Chinese and go bilingual to hero, dude. Okay, low key, I was considering trying to get a Chinese account for the next 0 to hero, just for the hell of it. But then I sat there and thought about getting gold, and I was like, this seems a little bit more annoying than it would be fun. I think I could swing getting a Chinese account. I don't think I could swing getting gold is the problem.
Let's pause to refresh.
That's part of the challenge. I don't want to do that. Needing to get gold is really fucking annoying. I'd buy a WoW token if I had to, but like, I'd swipe. But the problem is, like, I can't swipe on a fucking new account, right? I'm not into farming gold. Farming gold sucks. You tried EU and failed? No, you know the reason I failed the EU one? Depression. And I didn't have somebody else editing it, so it was really fucking annoying. I learned from that experience, and since then, I improved my mental health and I hired an editor. Depression, no joke. Look, sometimes it just hit diff. You never know. You never know when depression's gonna creep up on you. That's the chonky character sheet. Is 292. What is this gear? 295. Okay, cool. So this is all champion track. Like, high key, I actually... dude, something that I wish that Blizzard did was I wish that they didn't have to have a PTR. I wish there wasn't data mining, and I wish they didn't have to have a PTR. I think that the WoW players loving to spoil themselves thing is so real, and I really think, like, it would be nice if you would go into every patch kind of fresh. They don't have to. I think Blizzard, from a quality assurance standpoint, absolutely has to. Chonky's great. Yeah, the Chonky character sheet is sick. Go EU. Yeah, I could go EU, but I think that EU probably has the exact same like stuff going on as NA for me. Where it's like, the reason that I would have gone to CN is because some people believe that I get an unfair like LFG group being on NA. But like the challenge would be just the same for me on China as it would be on NA. Grip. Right now, Grip looks like it's not usable on any boss. Is it going to be usable on Ulatek, though? We don't really know, right? I think that there was also Manaforge. Manaforge didn't have any grips either, and then you saw Demencius, and you're like, oh. Right? Because, I mean, maybe Forge Weaver, right, was good for grips, but Forge Weaver was better for, like, grip was more, like, useful as recovery, not as, like, a strategy that you rely on. But then Demencius, you're like, oh, yeah, we need a fucking death grip. But yeah, right now, let me see. Take gander. So grip is good on Vashnik. I was about to say Viscarn. Vashnik. It's good on this fight. I'll show you guys why. Vashnik mythic testing. So this fight spawns ads.
Everybody, my name is Dratnos, and
hello, Dratnos. This guy spawns like ads on these altars, and especially on pull, using a DK to like grip some of the ads from the far side of the room on top of the stack, and like being able to merge both sides of ads together is fairly valuable. Like we did like double grip, right? Like the DK would walk out and grip the first one to like here, and then the second DK would grip the other ad into the melee stack. And so grip is nice on Vashnik, but not required by any means. Not usable, not usable, not usable, not usable. So it's just Nekzali, which is not really a grip fight at all. Gorfiends is good on that fight probably, but not like individual grip. And Vashnik, which individual grip is good on, and Gorfiends is good on. Hey, Doug, get up here, buddy. And then we don't know anything about Ulatek.
what happens?
I fucking hate Tails being
Ayo
happy.
Clutch.
What a dickhead.
Thank you for the sub.
Fuck you, Tails.
The amount that you can read in the journal? Yeah, well, I can't read. So, I don't know what's going on with that fight. I actually prefer stuff like Time Spiral, Warlock Gate, Death Grip, Stamp Roar being raid buffs as opposed to the conventional push button, gain 5% versatility. I really think I actually really prefer the kind of way that they go with like the nice but not required, even things like Darkness and Anti-Magic Zone. Yeah, raid CDs. I like raid CDs. I don't like press button get damage. Those are stupid. The press button get damage is not like a raid buff. That shit's like a like a congratulations. It's my check. This is my checklist, right? This is my checklist. Would you invade Tajikistan for Boom can always be a top 5 spec? No. The people of Tajikistan are nice. They got a nice flag, too. It gets used sometimes in my flag Doku. They got stars on them. Moonkin's already a top 5 spec every turn. The Y invade, true. Angering Turkmenistan. The Uzbeks are coming for me. What's this country? What does it look like? I don't know what country this is. El Salvador. An island? What? What do you gotta say? Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, today's globe. Prague. He has like here-ish. I'm about to click in Poland. I'm not careful. Busan. Okay, so Seoul is up here. I think Busan is down here. Is it here or here? I think it's here. Sri Lanka? Oh, look in the middle. Void storm zones locked. Wait, what? No, I don't think so, right? You're talking about like Agatal and some, right? Don't you just go over here? You can port to them. Who's the guy that ports you? Some guy over here, right?
Question everything. Sharala Ram.
Oh, the port. Oh, the portal. It isn't a void storm. Dude, for some reason, I thought it was over here. I don't remember why I thought that. Corsica. I don't know where Corsica is. GG. I think Corsica's like up here, but I feel like I'm gonna click on the wrong side of France. Oh my. It's an. Oh, I did know that actually. Oh my god, it's an island. I knew that. Oh fuck. If I sat there and thought about it for long enough, I would have. Oh fuck. That's bad. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I get Luxembourg and Liechtenstein confused. I can't remember which one's which. I think this one's Liechtenstein. I clicked on Luxembourg. Alright, I'm pissed. It's over. Oh, God. They exiled Napoleon there? Dude, how'd he make it there? That guy's short. Yeah, I fucked up. Knew Corsica was an island. Fuck. That's bad. The Luxembourg-Liechtenstein thing, I'm gonna fucking, I think, forever get those two mixed up. I'm bad at islands. Also, always get Milan and Manila mixed up for absolutely no reason. Stupidity, maybe? European map quiz.
Vatican City State. Ukraine. Finland. Serbia, Liechtenstein,
Guys, I can't remember.
Malta, San Marino, Switzerland, Latvia,
Estonia, Latvia.
Slovakia,
Ah, fuck. This is Czechia. This is
Sweden,
Slovakia. Sweden.
France, Italy, North Macedonia, Lithuania,
Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania.
Germany, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Bulgaria, Czech Republic, Luxembourg, Romania, Andorra, Greece, Hungary, Estonia, Ireland,
Oh, you're on my keyboard. I just clicked on the wrong thing.
Netherlands, Austria, Slovenia, Belarus, Moldova,
That is embarrassing.
Croatia, Belgium, Poland, United Kingdom, Montenegro,
Montenegro is north of Albania.
Albania, Iceland, Denmark, Monaco, Russia, Portugal, Norway, Spain, Kosovo, Cyprus.
Alright, good enough. GG. Corsica. Milan and Manila aren't even in the same hemisphere. I know. It's literally stupidity. It's stupidity that gets the best of me. It's like, it's one of those things that if I take my time, I know which one's which. But whenever I'm not like thinking super intently about it, I just say the wrong one all the time for those two fucking cities. I think I'm done. I think there's literally nothing else for me to do this week. Time for battles? Nah. Nah.
I have many lucky do's.
This is why they should have heroic, like, this is why they should have, like, heroic raid and, like, look, this might be a hot take. Even if they had capped Mythic Plus, at least it's, I think that the issue with, like, week ones of patches is that they're obscenely hype training. Now, there's an advantage of them where they're good for people that, like, haven't been playing the game for a little bit to jump back in, like a really good jumping in point. But for, like, people who log in, like, every single week and play the game every single week, this shit is so hype draining. Like, I'm literally doing nothing. I'm about to log out and not log in. Normal raid content the first week. Corrosive coin talents? I'm not doing that shit. What happened to Cap Mythic Plus? Mythic Plusers complained that there wasn't content for them. And so the solution was to remove Heroic Week. Dude, I haven't logged in actual months. I only had 4 hours of stuff to do. Yeah. I think it's really kind of... I don't know. It's weird because, like, the patch comes out and I really want to play the most on the day the patch comes out, right? Or, like, the week that the patch comes out. And then for some reason, there's, like, nothing. Like, it just feels really bad. Like, I just farmed level 80 on fucking Valera reputation. There should at least be something. It's just really... Do I go kill the Nemesis boss in the Tiebound Grotto? I don't know if I'm ever gonna get into a groove. Oh. Bet. Yeah, auto accept turn on that shit. This shit's free. Farm the poison tree. Nah. I think Buster's ruining the game for us yet again. No, no. Some shit for. Just a bad decision, I think, being made. Ellie Shaman ult? Oh, Ellie Shaman Mythic Plus main, perhaps. Thor loser back. The biggest payoff of all time from a 0 to hero is that Thor loser gets played occasionally. The biggest payoff from the 0 to hero is that I enjoy Shaman. I enjoy Ellie Shaman.
The Murlocs are ambushing our supply carts. Descend upon them and take back what they
Also,
stole.
chat, I'm at 7 out of 20 subs for giving Doug a treat. If anybody's got any primes, throw those suckers my way. Those are just free. That's just free money. If we get to 20, then we get Doug a treat. Throw those fuckers my way. Yeah. 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 Oh my
I
gosh.
fucking hate Tattles being
Squat
happy.
squat
What a
with the
dickhead.
5-pack.
you,
Holy.
I fucking
RB
hate
Jesus,
Tattles
thank you for
being
the
happy.
sub.
What a dickhead. Fuck you, Tattles.
Thank you. Doug like brushing? Yeah. My girlfriend and I had to shave him one time. That was less than optimal. But he's pretty good at being brushed. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sweetheart. I love you. You're so handsome. Big pats. Chud. Wait, somebody pulled the boss? Oh my god. Wasn't even here. Yeah, so I was reading the EX Boss Discord a few days ago, and so he said that he was gonna have an update for 12.1. But right now it's he had health issues for a little bit, and so he's prioritizing getting it updated for Mythic Plus. He said that there should be an update available on the 18th. So whenever that update's available on the 18th, then I'll make a free profile for it for you guys if you want it. What's the recommendation to do tier 6 delves and not tier 8? I mean, I don't really care about 3 item levels of difference on champion track gear on one champion track piece. So it's kind of whatever, right? Where's the treat? We gotta get to 20 subs. We're at 13 currently. Doug is begging, bro. Even do tier 5? Yeah. As long as it's champion track, it's kind of the same. Yeah. So, like, what you're going to take out of your vault this week is you're either going to take... you're either going to take a socket, or you're going to take a tier piece. It really depends. I think if you're not doing splits and you get offered tier, you should take the tier. If you don't get offered tier and you aren't doing splits, then you take the socket. If you are doing lots of splits and you get offered tier, you might still just take the socket. Because if you're doing enough splits, especially with curios, you can guarantee that everybody gets the tier set. But obviously, you don't take anything. Like, if you're a guild that's doing splits, you don't take anything until like after your splits are done. Taking bonus rolls for the rest of the season sounds awful. Yeah, they fucked up. I can't see. Oh, you're my way. Oh, you're on my keyboard, buddy. I just typed. Did I thunderstorm these? Nah. What's enough splits? I don't know. What's enough to guarantee that 25 people get like all their 4 sets? 3 splits or something? I don't know what the number is. Yeah, he's been sick.
I call the swirling vortex.
Can I get hero gear? No, not this week. I think the best gear that you can get from your vault is champion track. Actually, does MZR give you hero track stuff? Hold on, I might be making shit up. You might be able to get hero track gear from M0s. Yeah, it's also champion. Okay, yeah. I was like, maybe hold on, might be fibbing. Here's from the Delve map. Okay, so the only hero track piece of gear you can even get this week is from the Delve map. Is there an add-on keeping track of what you bonus rolled? I'm pretty sure the base game keeps track of what you bonus rolled. If you hover over the bonus roll on that, like after you kill that boss, if you hover over the bonus roll, I'm pretty sure it like will tell you what's eligible loot and what you haven't. But maybe you want something that's like you can see in a menu inside of Silver Moon or something. I actually think that there's like a console command as well, like a script that you can type into the game. That'll also show you what you bonus rolled. Yo, what up? I'm pretty sure you can pull up that menu from like a console window. I don't remember what the command is for it.
I call the swirling vortex.
You good? Need 83. Okay, of course. Did I win? One of the best world boss I can remember. Yeah, it's because this isn't a world boss, right? Yeah, it's just another raid boss. It's like Chimeras or Rotmire, right? Alright. Doug, you're on my fucking mouse. Look, I know it says we'll give Doug a treat at 20. If we get to 15, I'll give Doug a treat. Here, 2 people throw primes, we'll give Doug a treat, and I'm gonna get on out of here. I'm out. I think I'm done streaming today. And then tomorrow... I'm probably just gonna work on YouTube video stuff tomorrow, and then I fly out for the race on Monday. I think I'm kind of where I'm at. Do you? Oh my god, a tier list. What the fuck? What's the China tier list got going on? All 3 rogue specs? Yeah. Rogue is good. This spec was already good and they buffed it. This spec is benefiting from a positive bug and does insane damage. And this spec has always done good damage. Epic meltdown on gearing? No, I have not. Gebos. That shit got a 30% nerf, didn't it? Oh my god, this is an hour 20 minutes. Oh no, this one. This one's the one about the rant about gearing. I was about to say, holy shit.
You will be behind the item level until crests are uncapped, in which case you can catch up. As a non-mythic raider, you will be behind the item level. Until crests are uncapped, in which case you can catch up, kind of. But the problem is, what's not being factored in here is that I have to clear heroic raid every week, and I do not get a break. For 3 months, I have to kill a heroic boss and forego my vault. And finding raids is really hard.
I fucking hate Tattles being happy.
It is one of the most
the
disconnected things, if I may be so passionate as to give you a controversial take. It is one of the most disconnected things that many of the big players don't realize about the more average player. Finding the groups is way harder than you think it is. Most players at a high level are insulated within their community. If they're pugging something, they're able to find it based on A, the time zone that they play, and B, the notoriety that they have, or C, their friends list, or D, their alt guild group, or, you know, you can keep going down the alphabet. But the average player doesn't have any of those resources available to them and actually has.
Does the average player need to fucking clear heroic for Mythic Plus loot? Or for Mythic Plus gear that's relevant? Like, I'm pretty sure, like, you don't have to step foot inside of a heroic raid and you can easily get the 1% achievement. Like, that shit is, like... Look, I'm not going to say you're not going to be at a disadvantage, and I think that Mythic Plus needs its own vertical because this is really fucking stupid. But, like... I don't know if I subscribe to this ideology, if that makes sense. It definitely helps, right? Like, I'm 100%, I'm right there with you. It helps. The way that you attack against FOMO is you don't fucking put that gear in your sims. Like, who gives a singular fuck about, like, dude, if you can't get that gear, don't put that gear in your sims. Then you can't even tell, like, how much of a damage down it is. And instead, you just focus on playing. Yeah, I gotta have that Farfa mentality. Farfa was so fucking base for saying that too. Treat big dog. I mean, look. If you're going for the 0.1% and you don't raid, there is some part of me that empathizes with that. But if you're going for the 0.1% and you don't raid Mythic, you can easily clear Heroic, right? You are going to be 2 to 2.5 item levels down, undeniably, right? You are going to be behind. So you are going to not be at an even playing field. But you can still get the 0.1% title with that pretty easily. It's not unachievable or by any means. It's going to be a little bit harder, but I I think the people that are the most impacted are the people who could be cutting edge raiders that typically get the 0.1% title every single season, but this is going to make them worse compared to some of their peers. Now, something that's also not really talked about too much is how many people in your raid who are going for the 0.1% title in a cutting edge guild actually are on that character. Because in my guild, we have 3 people that go for the 0.1% title, right? Myself, our tank Sense, and we have a monk in our guild. His name is Fallon, right? And of those people, 0 of the 3 of us were on those characters. I played an Invoker, he played a Bear Druid, and Sense played a Bear Druid. Sense plays a Warrior in Raid, Fallon plays a fucking Windwalker Monk, and I played an Augmentation Evoker, right? Or I play a Balanced Druid, but then I played an Augmentation Evoker in Mythic Plus. None of us were playing those characters. But, so like, the amount of people that are actually like pushing the highest levels that have the 9 out of 6 loot is also not going to be that high. The people who are the most negatively impacted are the people who are the 0.1% people. The average player needing to clear heroic raid and having a hard time clearing heroic raid thing, I don't know if I subscribe to this ideology. That's just more of my thoughts.
Has to go in themselves, use the looking for group, and try to see how many raids are listed. The average raid that is listed is a several hour commitment that you must join early, because you can't just join on the boss that you want. It's very hard to find like, oh, I'm on this exact boss. Oh, great, that's the one I need. And you just go there. You almost certainly have to be joining a full-on raid group. And then on top of that, as a tank player, there's only 2 slots for you. So I probably have to play Resto or Boomy or Feral to get into one of these groups, which I don't really love doing anyways. And I spend a lot of time actually just going here and I hit looking for group, find raid, and pray that something is up when I log in because it's 1 a.m. on NA time. Because I play from Thailand.
Okay, so his situation sucks is basically what this is about. This is less, I think this is less about a complaint to the system and more about his situation becoming more annoying, right? I feel like that's maybe what this is more slated towards.
So the time difference, like I got on my afternoon, but it's actually NA time for everybody. So no raids are on. The average amount of times that I have found a Mythic Chimeras, for example, when I needed to do Onseer, the hardest barrier was every time I logged in, I would go try to find a group that was killing it. And the first few weeks, I would spend 4 hours of a night in a Mythic Chimeras with people who could not kill that boss. It was not fun. It was an anti-fun experience. It was an extremely anti-fun.
Don't do it. There are things that are maybe power gains for me in this game that I don't do. I'm not going to be fucking juicing my character for crests. Like, I'm not juicing an alt for Hero of the Dawn 2 weeks early this season. Is that a power gain for my guy? Yes. Am I going to do it? No, I don't have enough time. Right? Since that guy's in my chat, that guy is taking PTO week 1. He said that he's going to make sure that he gets Hero of the Dawn 2 weeks earlier, so his character is going to be more powerful. His character is going to be more powerful than mine for a couple of weeks. There's power that's gated behind that. That shit sucks, first and foremost. I'm not doing it. Secondly, I don't have time. I'm not doing it. You don't do everything. Like, you don't do everything in the game. Now, there's parts of this that I agree with, but this specific situation, like, I don't know. I think that Mythic Plus needs like a vertical. Like and that's like almost a different argument that's being made than what's being made here. I do think that Mythic Plus needs a vertical. I think that like the fact that Mythic Plus gear is simultaneously so good and yet so bad is ridiculous. The only way that you can get any reasonable Myth Track gear is from your vault. For the long-term player that wants to push the highest level of content for Mythic Plus, there is basically no in-game gearing system that makes sense. At the same time, having lockoutless hero track spam loot is so dumb. Like, it's a system that just is not well designed. And so I think that there is a point that should be made about that. But I don't know if I don't think that that's like what's kind of
I fucking hate
here.
Tettles being happy. What a dickhead.
Oh my gosh.
Fuck you, Tettles.
Herculeum. Thank you for the resub. Welcome back.
fun experience. And I
Ranting
believe
for content? No, that's valid. I mean, I think that that's valid. I definitely have made videos on my fucking YouTube channel where I was bitching just a bitch, which is fair.
that's not only going to happen next season, but it's going to be 3 times as bad. It's going to be really bad. Reset happens at 11 p.m. for me, and I am normally working. I cannot log in at reset. I know
Fucking hate
everybody
Tails
says,
being
well, just
happy.
log
What a
in at
dickhead.
reset.
Fuck you,
Yo,
Tails.
Etuk, thank you for the sub. He plays from time. Is it a bit out of line to say that he should be playing on Korea or Taiwan? Or, I mean, OS has NA reset.
Bro, reset is at 11 p.m. for me, and for other people, it's at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. What about work and kids and your life? How many people can log into World of Warcraft at 8 a.m. and just do the raid right after reset because it's the best time? There's going to be a bunch of groups. That's not a reality.
Me.
Even for a lot
I'm
of
jobless.
hardcore players, that's not a reality. There are people who will actually take the system seriously and really go game it and actually try to find raids, but it's not a lot. It's
Doing a raid at reset's the fucking hack, by the way. That's the fucking hack for sure. The reset raid, you get the most unemployed people, and unemployed people make the best World of Warcraft players, and that's on God.
It's not a reality that most people can just do that. Again, this system is not really designed for the people that I believe it's actually trying to help. Like, the average player doesn't engage with raid all of a sudden and have a fantastic time with their group of friends. It's not so easy to find a group of friends to just do the raid. There are...
That's true. I think that that's more of a testament to raiding as a thing than anything else. And I mean, I think that that's why people have been more increasingly discussing bringing back fixed 10-man, is because it is really fucking hard
I fucking hate
to
Tails
get 20
being
players
happy.
together.
What a dickhead.
But like,
Fuck you, Tails.
heroic raid with the boys, I mean, isn't that easy to get together? Very sauerkraut. Thank you for the 19 months. I don't know. Like, I feel like getting 15 people together to do a heroic raid once a week is not the most challenging thing of all time. I mean, I know that I'm a bit of an outlier because of like social connections and stuff, but I mean, this is just how you do it. This is, I mean, are you interested in coming to my alt raid next Friday at 6 PST? I'm gonna be a bit busy with the race. Could be down after BlizzCon. Like, if you really want to have this done, you just become Dabnell here, right? You should become Dabnell in this situation. You ask people and you set that shit up yourself.
So many factors about this gearing change that are weird. It also takes away the dopamine. Every single vault is going to be a bonus roll, which I have to delay the gratitude. I have to delay the dopamine from the bonus roll because now I have to basically say, I take the bonus roll because it's the right thing to do. And then I have to go to the last boss, and it's going to take me hours. Normally on a Wednesday after reset, so reset happens Tuesday night for me, I log in on Wednesday afternoon. How many hours do you think I get to play the game?
Like, fuck. What's my gut reaction is like, this is being presented as if it's like a super widespread problem, and I'm not convinced that it is.
Like 3, 4, 5? That's pretty good. Okay, so let's say I play my entire afternoon. I'm going to be... I don't even get to do a key. I'm going to be spending the entire time in raid.
You don't have
and I'm probably
to
gonna have
join
to do,
a
like,
raid.
first few group will fall apart, and then I'm going to have to go, okay, the next thing, I'm gonna, okay, now I have to try to find the last two, and I have to bonus roll the last boss
Like,
on
you don't
top of that.
have to join
on
the raid,
top of
right?
that, I have to do the last boss, not the first two, which would be much easier. And that's one of the things about Chimeras. It was a lot of access because just one boss. I have to actually go all the way to the last boss. This is not easy to do. There's going to be, I will spend 5 hours in a pug group trying to kill this boss, unless they tune it very easily, which I don't know. But my biggest complaint about this system is that even if it's
I guess
not,
it's kind of a question of like, what is the goal? I mean, fuck, isn't this better for him? Like, isn't this system better for him? Because last year he would have worse loot, no? Like, I guess the question is like, isn't this loot better? I guess, yeah. I don't know. Cantrip, I mean, it has cantrip effects on it. Like, because you could play the exact same. I don't know, right? In my opinion, he's mad that they made a new avenue he feels like he needs to do to progress his character. Okay, sure. You know what? That's probably more valid. I didn't consider it like that. Because, like, in my mind, he wasn't mythic rating before anyways. Like, I think that the people that probably get the most pissy about this are the people that are, like, former cutting-edge raiders who just don't really fucking, like, raid that much. But, like, they absolutely could do it if they wanted to. But he's talking about, like, heroic raid, right? Because, like, I think that most people who are, like, 0.1% players and they're, like... you do heroic raid. Like, you need the fucking tier gear, right? I think he thinks honestly, I think it comes off like he believes that he has to do it, and I'm not so certain that that's true.
so bad? Who does it help? Who is it good for?
Heroic raiders.
What actually, who benefits from this?
Heroic raiders.
That's my question. That's like my actual biggest question.
It benefits heroic raiders by a lot.
Is a problem. You don't have to. I don't know about that. I don't think I have to mythic raid. That's the thing. I don't have to mythic raid. I've already decided I won't because that is a 6-month commitment and that's crazy. I'm not going to mythic raid because I don't like it. It doesn't spark joy for me. But I do have to heroic raid. Like, not heroic raiding is a problem. Not mythic raiding is a choice. Not heroic raiding means that I get 0 of the items. These are all, look at this, cantrip effect right here, weapon, cantrip effect, headpiece, cantrip effect, neck piece, cantrip effect, best trinket right here, second best trinket right there. All of it? You're going to ask me to play with none of that? I don't know about that. I think that that's starting to border. If it was one item, that'd be decent. Like if it was like, okay, I don't have my mythic Onseer. People lost their mind over mythic Onseer versus a heroic Onseer, and that's one trinket.
He's kind of tiptoeing around a decent point here, though. I still stand by the fact that I think that Mythic Plus should have its own gearing vertical. I'm there. Like I think Mythic Plus should have its own gearing vertical. And I think he's tiptoeing around the fact, yeah, Mythic Plus trinkets are fucking ass. And like, but also being like, this gear's too good is like, I don't know. That's why I describe as tiptoeing, right?
That's not one trinket. That's like 5 items. That's a lot of items. I think that they should be viewing Mythic Plus as a little bit more of a separate system. I mean, that's kind of my big rant here.
Please
I suppose,
no.
and that's my frustration.
I'm out.
Is
Like,
it
please,
seems
not
like
a
Mythic
separate
Plus is
system.
almost an
Please, God,
afterthought
we saw PvP get
for the sake of
abandoned.
this.
Please
And
no.
also, the problem
Don't
is that
separate
this
it.
is
Just
for
make it
Guardian
better.
Druid.
Make it
Guardian
different.
Druid has an easy time with these bosses because at least all of the items that come from the last boss, all 4 of these I can use. At least, like I get all 3 of these, and this trinket it may not be
6-7.
this, but I can use it.
That little guy, that
Imagine a
guy's
prop
first
pally.
message
When I
is
was making my
6-7.
prop pally guide, I realized, oh my god, I'm in trouble. Prop pally has a massive problem right now, where if you bonus roll the last boss on prot, you don't want these legs, and you don't want this trinket, but you absolutely need this neck piece. The neck piece is probably your biggest chase item, almost more than anything else for prop pally. So you really want this neck piece, and you probably want this sword. So now there's a 50% chance that you get a dog shit item that you can barely play with your spec, but you probably have to do exactly what I'm talking about and just straight up bonus roll anyways. Ignore your vault, actually do this. The problem is that your next bis comes from this boss and you really want this for prop pally and this again, and you just, now there's a shield and a wrist here, and it's like, I don't know, man. It's a weird system, but I think that they need a separate Mythic Plus loot table. Like, it's not, you just, it's not that.
I don't know. You need a separate Mythic Plus loot. I mean, this is what? Better for Mythic Raiders. This is better for Heroic Raiders. This is better for Mythic Plus only players that clear Heroic Raid. This is worse for, slightly worse for Mythic Plus only players, and 0.1% Mythic Plus players that don't Mythic Raid, right? Instead, they only Heroic Raid. But they could get Cutting Edge. I don't know. Mythic Plus gear fucking... I mean, Mythic Plus... look, here's the issue I have with Mythic Plus gear. This is not completely unrelated to what he's saying. The issue with Mythic Plus gear is that Mythic Plus gear is so good at the beginning of the season, right? You log in, you do 80 dungeons, you get 100% of your fucking Myth Track quests, you spawn in a full set of Hero Track gear from this lockoutless heroic Mythic Plus, or these Mythic Plus dungeons, right? Mythic Plus loot is really, really good for like 3 fucking weeks. Then Mythic Plus loot begins to taper off as time goes on because you were only able to get at most 1 additional piece of gear from Mythic Plus. Whereas from Raid, Mythic gear drops off of Raid bosses. So say if you're a Mythic Raider, you're getting, on average, 2 pieces of gear a week. You're getting the 1 piece from the Vault, you're getting the 1 piece from the Raid drop. I guess you're getting 2.5 because you're crafting every other week. So you're getting 2.5 pieces of gear, right? You're getting 1 piece from the Vault, you're getting 1 piece from the Raid drop, and you're getting half a piece from the Professions. As a Mythic Plus player, you're getting 1.5 pieces a week of Myth Track loot. You get 1 piece from the Vault, and you're getting half a piece from crafting. So it's incredibly decelerated, but the parity of the gear is also just fucking terrible. Mythic Plus trinkets are god-awful every single patch. Like, take a look at some of the Mythic Plus trinkets that you got from current season. What is this, Elemental in a jar thing? Like, oh, it's a melee DPS trinket. You got a Ruby Whelp Shell. Like, dog, I'm not wearing that. This thing's actually good. The Stormbound Emblem of Dazar. So, like, I'm not really going to shit on that too much. But, like, there are so many trinkets from Mythic Plus that are just worthless. And even the best trinkets from Mythic Plus are not even close parity-wise to the equivalent of Raid. The problem is Raid gear doesn't feel satisfying. They've actually really fucked up and made Raid gear not satisfying. And so I think that they need to take a look at how to make Raid gear more satisfying. I do not actually believe the solution is giving you 9 out of 6 Myth Track gear and the cantrip effects. I think that there's something that's more fundamental at play here about rewards just as a whole. And it's maybe that gear is too fast. It's hard to really say. But gear does not feel super impactful from raid. This is unlikely to solve it. Maybe I'll eat those words and you'll talk to me in 6 weeks and I'll be like, yep, the 9 out of 6 myth track stuff was game changing. I doubt my opinion's going to change so much. I think that the play pattern for the 9 out of 6 shit is going to be super stupid too. You're just going to like, your entire raid's going to bank a bonus roll, and the moment that you end up killing Lost, what's this mob called? What's this boss called? The Coiled Altar, 20 out of 20 of your raiders are going to bonus roll and spawn in with a 9 out of 6 myth piece, right? So instead of getting 5 pieces of 9 out of 6 loot, you're getting 25 pieces. Which is dumb, but like, but I think that like the gearing system as a reward needs to be heavily looked at, and trying to integrate Mythic Plus gearing into raid gearing in a more seamless way that both feel satisfying is really important, because right now you just don't. Yeah, it's more of an issue of like, we kill a boss, the loot drops. Almost all of the loot, even on Myth Track, is like not an upgrade anyways. You don't really care about the loot. Nobody's looking at the fucking loot, right? There's like a couple of chase pieces that are very valuable. Nothing outside of like a very specific trinket or very rare items are even like looked at. Weapons are completely obsolete. That can't be right. Profession gearing is like stupid. But loot, in my mind, I don't remember the last time I was really hyped and looking at loot off of bosses was probably season 1 of Dragonflight. But since then, it's been like, you're only looking at specific chase pieces. I remember like super early on as well, we killed, I'm pretty sure we killed Voracious world first, and this shit dropped a bunch of loot that were straight off, like, I think it dropped double offhand, double wrist, or something fucking, it was something ridiculous. Like, it dropped awful loot. Like, genuinely, like, not wearable. And it was like, we got so hosed. And it was like, how did we just kill a mythic boss and we actually didn't get an upgrade? Like, how in the world did that just happen? We killed that shit world first. What? Yeah, weird. I don't know. I think they really need to rethink the rewards. I'm not so certain that this guy's frustrations, I think, are with the system on his whole. How'd the flooded basement pan out? Still working through it. Not great, but yeah, that's how it goes. Gear's a tool, not a reward. No, I think gear's a reward. I do not subscribe to the methodology that gear is a means to an end. I'm out on that. Like, I think for me, gear and character progression matter. Like, those are things that are core to what makes an MMO feel satisfying. Skill and achievement-based progression is very relevant. I would argue it's equally relevant, though. I don't think it should be like I don't think we should have to go back to Classic, where skill is non-existent, gear is the only thing. Like, skill is non-existent. The only thing that we're looking at is time-based commitments, and you get like 0 loot and you farm your pre-raid bis, and I'm not there, right? Like, I'm not there, but I think that gear is the saying that Ian said in that Cyber interview of gear being a means to an end for a lot of players. I'm out. Like, I think that gear should be a large consideration about the dopamine that players experience. All right, I'm out. I'm done. Mitch Jones, oh my god, that guy's playing slots. I'm gonna raid Kira. You can have both. I agree that you can have both. I think the pendulum has swung so far in the way of like skill-based progression and swung out away from character-based progression, and I think that I would like it to go a little bit further back. Again, not to fucking vanilla, but I think that there is a middle ground here. gear can't be as fast as it is right now because Blizzard then needs to add 7 turbo boosts to keep players logged in. And I think it kind of, the turbo boosts and the aluminum foil and all of these things prove that Blizzard understands that there is something broken with their system, right? So they're hitting you with a shot in the arm to try to inject additional character progression on a season. But it's not enough. All right. I'm out. GG.